Yeah, welcome, my dear friends. Welcome, hello, and to Clobbering Times issue number 901. Well, 201 on YouTube, but 901 overall because we did 900 a little bit earlier today, and I want to thank everyone who turned out for that. What a great crowd, and of course, big shout out to the wonderful, the beautiful Purple Valkyrie for hanging out with me for that. Now we got beautiful ladies all over the place, including my fantastic first officer. So a big hello, everyone, of course, to the wonderful RM Raquel, Commander RM Raquel Briggs, the greatest first officer, I should say, in Starfleet. Hey there, number one.
It's pretty easy to be a decent commanding officer when you're with the greatest damn captain in the whole damn fleet. I love you, Clubby. It is so exciting that we have smashed through 900, and now we're on 901, and this is Clobbering Treks, folks. This is Clobbering Treks. And I'm seeing all of the usual suspects in the chat, and that
Yes.
just warms my heart. I love you all so much. And thank you so much for coming tonight, for supporting this channel and supporting this show. Each and every one of you is a special friend to Clobby and I.
You are, and we're going to shout you all out right now before we get started. So, barring a hurricane, everyone, I'll be here back here. If I have power and everything, Monday night to do the wrap up Jack Kirby month. But having Jack Kirby birthday celebration today it was so much fun. It was so great to for all of you who hung out with us for that. Thank you so much. And here with us tonight, of course, is the great Lord Thoth, LT Buddy. Avon lives. Long live the Legion.
Welcome.
The wonderful Felicianos, as in Sandra and Raymond, are here.
Yay!
Let's see here. Phantom Outsider, who I understand you were under the weather, sir.
Oh, no.
Stricken down with the big C. Look, feel better, my friend, and I know you're tired. You're not feeling well, so get some rest and take care of yourself, buddy. Appreciate you, man. Let's see here. Excuse me. The great Snorta Poopas Cuber.
Snorta Poopus! Cuber.
They love that. We all love that. The great Eric K, Master of French, the Bronze Surfer. What's up, buddy?
Eric, it's so nice to see you.
Always a pleasure, brother. Stephen Thompson, Captain James G. Skywalker. Hey, Stephen.
Oh my goodness, your name just keeps getting longer and longer, Stephen.
Yeah, cool name there. There you go. Athena Follower, welcome. Great to see you.
Hello.
Stuart Mitchell. Hello there. Hello.
Hello, Stuart.
The great J-Man popped in. J-Man, buddy, good to see you there.
Hello, welcome.
Yes, indeed. Let's see here. Wolfie 762. Hello, Wolfie.
Ow,
Let's see here. Tyrell 70. Excuse me. Yeah, 72. Good to see you, Tyrell.
It's very nice to see you. Thank you for coming.
Always a pleasure. Kal-El 48, buddy. Great to see you here. He's got all kinds of weird joke names on there, but he's basically the bottom line. He is Steve Mitchum, as an AKA Maddie's daddy.
The giant man from Vegas, the giant man who looks like Conan the Barbarian in real life, only has more hair, and he has the most beautiful daughter. She is just absolutely gorgeous. Good evening, Steve Mitchum, Maddie's daddy, and please kiss Maddie's whole beautiful little face for me.
Indeed, buddy. Good to see you. And $5 super chat. Thank you, Eric K. You're too kind, my brother. Appreciate you. Bobby needs to build a rock wall around his Baxter building. Yeah, he has built to keep out those nasty hurricanes. Mm-hmm. Yes, well, I'm working. I have Reed Richards working on some force fields and things like that. So we'll see what happens. We will see what happens here. The beautiful Arwen Avalon. Hey.
Hey, gorgeous.
Oh, always a pleasure, lady. Always a pleasure. You were lovely, and we had a lot of lovely ladies here tonight, which is okay by me. So straighten up, you mugs. Yeah. Let's see here. Your Muslim uncle. What's up, my friend? Thanks for being here.
Good evening, sir.
It is great to see you. Great to see you. Enigmatic Drop Bear. Hello there.
Ooh, hello.
Oh, good to see you.
Oh, that was the
Mass.
smarty pants from last week. I remember that person. I really enjoyed your company last week. So good to see you again.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. Always a pleasure. Very and knows the stuff there, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Um, the master of all that is French Canadian, the great Chris Persia. Hey, buddy.
Ah, mwah, mwah, mwah. Just sending millions of kisses to you. For likey, for likey, for likey. Hello, Chris.
There you go. He is the man of iron, D. Bud Martin, brother.
Hey, D-Bud. Good to
There
see
you
you.
go. Look, you never get a complaint about me about this. I just like saying it because it is just so cool. Beautiful ladies all over the place. Another one, bionic belly button.
Oh, wow. Yeah, just a beautiful, kind, amazing woman who has just been pinned. And I believe she will be working in cardiac care, or that's what she's gunning for. And she's worked so hard in the post-secondary environment. She had to scale back her participation on these streams where she provides a ton of wrench support and production support. So I just want everyone in the chat, please extend congratulations to Bionic Belly
Yes.
Button, who worked her beautiful little tail off, and she got her pin. Pilots get their wings, and nursing people get their pins. So congratulations to just a wonderful friend and a truly beautiful person inside and out.
We love you, Bionic. It's great to see you there, and congrats, my friend. And you will be back on. I know you're busy a lot, but you got to come back and hang on with me one of these nights again. Hang out with me because it was a lot of fun. Snail Messiah, hello there.
Hey, how are you?
Always a pleasure. Great to see you. Another lovely lady is here, Janet from another planet.
Interplanet Janet. She's a galaxy girl.
Indeed, I love that. Ted Millich, hey.
Hello.
Jed, brother from Pop Culture Archivist. See, I didn't say activist this time, dude. I tried to remember, buddy. I tried to remember. Let's see here. Monkey Jeebus, hey there.
I love that name. Monkey Jeebus.
Love it.
Love it.
Oh, my goodness. Another lovely lady. Because, again, the ladies, I just love it. We have a beautiful friend of ours. We love her. You love her, and you can't live without her. The great anti-derivative Jill. Jill, hey, lovely to see you.
Jill. Hello, gorgeous. So happy that you're here.
And someone who popped in earlier, I like this name, the Comic Relief Crusader. Hey.
Very cool.
Yeah, cool name. So yes, and anyone else who pops in, we will definitely shout them out. That's for sure, because we like doing that, because we love having you all hang out with us. And if I missed anyone, please. Oh, I did miss someone.
Yes, you did. Mrs. LT.
Look at that. Mrs. LT. Where?
Oh, Lord Thoth has just announced that Mrs. Thoth is present in the audience as well.
Oh, okay. I was thinking, well, we got a couple of Mrs. LT.
Yes.
Your hubby is a superhero to me, and he is the man. And Mrs. LT, it is lovely to have you there. Great to see you. I hope you're doing well.
Yes.
And also Mrs. Dadman. I thought I could have sworn. Did I see Mrs. Dadman?
I don't know.
Things moving. Yeah, there. Look,
it's
Mrs.
jumping
Dadman
all
walking.
over. She's here. Dadman clan represent. Scariest avatars, warmest hearts. Dadman clan.
Where is that hubby of yours, by the way? Front and center, Dadman.
I think JT Kirk just walked through the door too, but then the chat jumped again.
JT Kirk, good to see you. If we miss anybody, let us know, because we think we got everybody. Speaking of superheroes, the great Mark D with a C is here.
Yeah, right, Chris? Lots of power couples here tonight.
Absolutely. Michael Beacom, hello there.
Hello, Michael.
Good to see you. Let's see here. So I think, not sure, but may have gotten everyone. We will see. Let me just make sure, double back. I like to get everyone written down so I know who's here and stuff. Lot to double check before we get started. All right. Well, I think we got everyone. Of course, anyone who comes in later, we will definitely try to acknowledge them. We try to get everyone that we can. It's not easy as we grow and get. Oh, there's the big Mr. Dadman. What's up, buddy?
Yeah,
I
Dadman
miss you.
Clan represent. They are in the house.
Yeah,
So good to see you both. I
absolutely.
said earlier, Dadman Walking, you guys have the scariest avatars, but the warmest hearts. So, and
Absolutely.
I hope the younger Dadmans are in the background and they're kicking butt in their games tonight. That do you know that the Dadman Clan, the whole clan, they game, and Mrs.
Yeah.
Dadman has been taking some lessons to play some of these more advanced games, and I hear she is kicking butt and taking names.
Ah, well, there's some gamers, a gamer family there. Well,
Yeah.
excellent, fantastic. Um, well, everyone, we have 4 more episodes of Star Trek: The Next Generation, season 2. I hope you all did your homework because we're about to get rolling on that. What we will do is what we always do. We will set up. I will let number one explain her source, and then we will get on to the episode. So, go for it. Number one, I turn it over to you.
All right. So if you've never been here before and you're participating in the podcast, not in the live chat, around here we are covering 1966 to 2005 Star Trek. So the 735 iterations of canon. And tonight we're going to be covering 4 episodes. We're doing them in chronological order. Right now we're on TNG, and I will be reading some excerpts from the book that you see on the screen. Now, if you're just participating in a podcast and you can't see that, and to keep us copyright compliant, I will just say I am reading excerpts from Star Trek 365, The Next Generation. It is written by someone who has inside information that is verified, and her name is Paula M. Block. She publishes really good books. Sometimes they're not written like wonderfully, but her inside information is just excellent. And her husband gives her a hand on this. His name is Terry J. Erdman. And of course, the entire book was blessed by the great Ronald D. Moore. And so what we do around here is I read a little summary, and I hope that Paula M. Block reveals some production notes or some secrets that we didn't know behind the scenes. And we know that it's verified because this is a published book. And then what ends up happening is I throw it over to Clobby, and Clobby has loved Star Trek for more than 4 decades, and so have I. So he talks about the episode. Then I cover my notes, and I talk about my notes because every single year I watch Star Trek from the beginning to the end, all 735 iterations of original canon. So in order to keep the show spicy, I take some very spicy notes and I read them. And then afterwards, a great thing happens. The chat gets to chime in, and the chat does some infill. They talk about rumors that they heard. Maybe they're facts, maybe they're factoids, and we talk about that stuff. And then the chat gets to speak their piece. They get to say exactly what they think about the episode and even give it a grade. So that's what we do around here. So without further ado,
Before you get started, I forgot something.
what, honey? What?
You were a writer, and I forgot to do our opening plug that I always want to do, and I'm just so dead tired. I guess
You know you
it's
don't
hurricane
have to do
stuff,
that.
but do it anyway. I want
love
to do
you
it all
so
the time.
much. Okay, so I'm an author, and not just a scholarly author, but I also write fiction, science fiction, and my craft is short fiction forms, especially flash fiction. So if you like science fiction and you like short story and you like flash fiction, you can find my work on Goodreads. So you can purchase it through Apple. You can find my work on Amazon, and you can find it on your Kindle device. All you have to do is type in RM Briggs, and I would appreciate your support.
I'm so sorry I forgot to do that immediately. I've just now thought of it. I'm so aggravated
Totally
with
not
myself.
necessary. You're so
It is to
generous.
me. It is to me.
Oh, I love
And
you. Thank you for supporting my work.
thank you, Eric K, for that. I appreciate that, buddy. Kalabby says for the super chat. Thank you, buddy. Says he hates that picture because there's no Wesley in it. Well, I probably did say that. Well, it's less fun as a dartboard that way.
Oh, Eric, so bad and so funny. Just absolutely love it.
Let's see. Oh, thank you, Ted. I appreciate that. We hurricanes. are nothing new to us, my friend. It's another day ending in Y for hurricanes down here, but that is a baddie, so we'll see what happens. But thank you all. Just Joe Jobber, what's up, bro?
Yay!
Good to see you, buddy. Well, I guess we're ready to get going then, since you made the explanation,
Are
the
you ready
introduction.
to dig in? Let's do it. Let's
start. Let's start. Okay.
So
I will pull up the picture while you're doing that.
Well, thank you so much. Okay, so many of you have purchased this book, and the one that we used for TOS, which was also a Paula M. Block book. So if you are following along, you will probably notice that tonight the production goes out of order. So it goes out of prod order. So it will be different than the broadcast order. The first show we'll be covering tonight, the first episode we'll be covering tonight is Loud as a Whisper. This is season 2, episode 5, but it is prod code 132. So it is out of order with Schizoid. Because, of course, that was filmed first. It first aired on January 9th, 1989. And if you're following along in the block text, we are on brick or block or whatever you want to call it, because this is a very odd block or brick-shaped book. We are on the tab or the page or the tile number 80. 80. And I'm going to read extemporaneously. So if you feel like throwing fruit at me, keep it for yourself and just eat it. Oh yeah, and it's important that I say that because before things get a little too wild, please know that we hear Solary for the people in this episode. We hear Solace, which is the planet out of Deanna's mouth, and then of course we also hear Soleus, and we also hear Soleil. So it's going all over the place in this episode, and that's typical when you try to make up words and use different languages and you don't know what you're doing. So that might happen as I read this extemporaneously.
Gotcha. Welcome 1903. I'm sorry. Yeah. Welcome 1903. Go for it.
The Enterprise carries the renowned mediator Riva to Soleus 5, where the inhabitants have waged a bitter civil war for centuries. Riva is congenitally deaf. He speaks via a telepathic chorus of interpreters who convey his thoughts. It's an eloquent method of communication, but one that proves to have its drawbacks. When Riva attempts to open negotiations on Soleus, a terrorist opens fire and kills Riva's 3 interpreters. Suddenly, quote-unquote, voiceless, the traumatized mediator withdraws and refuses to deal with either the people of Soleus or Solus, or the crew of the Enterprise, leaving the fate of the strife-torn planet in limbo. Born deaf, actor Howie Seago didn't learn American Sign Language, or ALS, until high school. His hearing parents felt that he'd be better equipped to deal with the world if he spoke out loud. Seago later became adept in his use of ASL, but he is also vocally fluent. Seago's career breakthrough came when avant-garde American theater director Peter Sellers cast him in the title role of Sophocles' tragic play Ajax. That is true. Convinced that the classic drama would be the perfect vehicle for the dead actor, Seller changed the play's traditional Greek chorus into 5 interpreters who follow Ajax around and speak for him. Each of them, Seago recalls, interpreted according to my character's mood. The production toured successfully in America and Europe and made it possible for Seago to acquire a Hollywood agent. Not long after, Seago's wife made the seemingly off-the-wall suggestion, do a Star Trek The Next Generation episode. She loves Star Trek, Seago says, admitting he wasn't as passionate about the show. It's hard to lip-read aliens, he said, laughing. Seago's agent contacted a producer at Paramount Pictures. At the time, the Hollywood studios were on an imposed hiatus because of the writers' strike. Yes, folks, the longest writers' strike in history, probably. It's the only reason I got to see the producer, the actor jokes. He had nothing else to do. 6 months later, Seago's agent called the theater where he was working to say, Star Trek wants you. In the original script, mediator Riva carried a device that allowed him to hear and speak. At a critical point in negotiations, the device breaks. That was lame, Seago notes, and he expressed that feeling to the show's producers. They offered up a solution suited to Seago's accomplished linguistic skills. Data would teach Riva to speak overnight. But Seago nixed that idea as well. He didn't want his performance to give the parents of deaf children the false hope that their children would instantly become clear speakers. Oh, wow. That's a wonderful insight. Every deaf child is different. Not all are as successful at vocalizing as he is. Drawing on his background, Seago told them about the translators who'd followed him around in Ajax. Suppose Riva had a course, he proposed, and they die. And then Data must learn sign language in order to communicate with Riva. It was a good suggestion, made better when the writers took it a step further, having Riva decide to teach the warring factions to sign. Oh, there's another tile. By the second season, TNG's popularity was such that the sound stages 8 and 9, where the standing Enterprise sets were located, became a must-see destination for VIPs who had other business on the Paramount lot. Generally, requests to stop by and meet the crew were accommodated if the filming schedule for that week's episode hadn't fallen too far behind. It was good for publicity. After all, the actors typically enjoyed the interactions with men and women whose paths likely would never have intersected with their own out in the real world. And so it was in February of 1989 that Jonathan Frakes and Patty Stew got to meet the man who was at the time the highest ranking military officer in the United States Armed Forces. Wow. As the Los Angeles Times reported the next day, the nation's top military man was on the bridge of the Enterprise Monday. Admiral William J. Crowe, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, wow, was at Paramount to do a cameo in Cheers and asked to visit the nearby set of Star Trek The Next Generation. Yes, Admiral Crowe, you're awesome. Knowing when he was outranked, the head man of the Enterprise, Captain Jean-Luc Picard, graciously relinquished his chair to the Admiral during the brief visit. And there's a photograph of this marvelous Admiral William J. Crowe on the opposite page. And that is all the block text has to say about the episode, loud as a whisper. What did you think of the coverage, Clobby? And what did you think of the episode, Captain?
Sorry about that. I muted for a second. You there? You hear me now?
Yes, I am. Yeah, sure.
Very interesting coverage. I don't think I'd ever heard that story about Crow. Like, I remember him, but I never knew he went to the set of the Next Generation. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I thought this is an episode that I thought was at least pretty interesting. I thought it was fairly well done. I mean, it was nothing really super excited about the episode or anything like that. But I didn't find it bad or anything. Maybe I don't know if you did, but I'll give it. You didn't like it much, huh? The idea itself, I thought it was. I don't know. It was just sort of. I mean, I don't really have any. Again, I get a little irritated sometimes when there's an episode I can't work up strong emotions for in one way or the other. It almost means that might be in and of itself a problem. If you see where I'm coming from.
Oh man, I love you. I just absolutely love you.
You know that I do think that all the stuff, with the character of Riva, speaking through the three interpreters and all that kind of stuff like that, was a pretty Trek idea, I guess. But for the most part, I don't have a whole lot to say about the episode. I know it sounds terrible, but this happens to me once in a while. Where I'm like, it didn't really, nothing. I mean, nothing really angered me about it. I just thought it was kind of a. Is it wrong for me to call it a snoozer? I don't really even hate it. There are episodes I really can't stand. This is just
now that you're like my real friend, and I actually know who you are in real life, and we're friends. I can't fault you. I do have to say though that this is usually how you react when something sucks. And there's no apologizing for having good taste. I mean, you're known for your good taste. You have impeccable taste. So when your reaction is meh, yeah, I know it's just because it's a real stinker. We might have to pull out the poop Zamboni for this one.
Wow. I get there are some episodes once in a while where everyone really, really hates, and I'm like, I can see why you don't like it, but my reaction was more of a okay.
Yeah.
That episode was definitely filmed and showed on television.
Well, yeah, and the thing is that it's great. Like I knew in 1989 that the actor was hearing impaired because, of course, I have hearing impaired people in my family, so I thought that was a triumph. But and that's wonderful. That whole aspect of it is just wonderful. But it's just it just fails to materialize as a good episode. Unfortunately, it's just not good.
Yeah, I mean, and there's a thing. I don't really think it's particularly bad either. I just don't think I'm really. I kind of all over. I mean, you could probably, when I watch it, when my eyes glaze over a little bit, there are times when I will miss stuff because I'm not that. Like for example, if I watch one that's really stupid and really annoying,
Yeah.
that means I'm involved, and I'm going to remember a lot of the crap. It's so I can complain about it later. If I'm watching something that's really good, same deal.
Yeah.
If I'm watching something that is just sort of just kind of in the middle and I don't really care that much, then I'm not going to remember a lot about the episode other than I was like, again, meh, I hate to use the term, but it's kind of that way for me. Narada Maximanda Bear, Minimus, and Martless Earth, good to see you all. Thank you for popping in.
Nice to see you.
So, yeah, I don't know. I don't have a big emotional response to this one. I got to be honest with you. I thought I was a little on the bored side. Is that, maybe being bored is worse than being emotionally involved one way or the other.
It's a sign of taste reflex. It's your taste reflex. Your tastes are so good that, you just you just tune out. Because for me, this one's a real stinker. But everyone at home should also know, though, that I like when I say that I watch Star Trek from beginning to end, starting on January 1st, every single year of my life, and then I also rewatch the films over the holidays in order. People really need to realize that that's actually true. I know a lot of people on the internet talk a lot of smack, and you just roll your eyes. But I not only do I do it, but I've been doing it for years. So because I know of some of the things that have been said behind the scenes about this particular episode, and some of it was covered in the block text, it sort of just it gets under my skin a little bit. So maybe that's why it goes from meh to for me to.
Hey there. Oh, absolutely. Captain is Decker, the replicant Spock. Hey there, buddy.
I'm sorry, that's my daughter's
dog. That's okay. The doggy doesn't like it either.
Yeah, he's not used to being here, so he's barking up a storm. Hopefully my husband will come and grab him. Yeah, so yeah, it's unfortunate. I think that they had all the raw material here to make a wonderful episode. And Howie Seago is a wonderful person to represent hearing impaired people, and the sentiments that were expressed and the way that he worked with producers on this episode through the telling of Paula M. Block is just absolutely outstanding, and it's a triumph for hearing impaired people. But yeah.
Well, notes.
Yes. Okay, here we go, folks. So I take notes. When Clavy asked me if I would do this show with him, I was just so thrilled and so honored. And so I sort of was scratching my head trying to figure out what I could add and how I could organize my thoughts, because I usually just shout stuff out about each episode. And my poor husband, who's had to rewatch all this stuff with me, he just gets to hear it. But now that I'm on this show, I write it down, and so you all get to hear it. So here it is. This is what I wrote down while I was watching it this year. You'll read on most user-generated content wikis that this episode was Howie Seago's wife's idea. Her name is Lori. That is not so. In fact, she asked him to pitch an appearance on Star Trek based on Ajax, a play written by the 5th century BC, written in the 5th century BCE by Sophocles, which Howie starred in 1986. So I'm afraid to burst everyone's bubbles in all of these books that they write and the way that they sort of stroke one another in Hollywood. But the idea was Peter Sellers's idea about the whole thing with transferring it into human bodies. But it was really Sophocles by way of Homer's Iliad. So the chorus is actually a Greek device for moving a story along. And a chorus comes forward, right? So the chorus was born as a device of Greek tragedy therein, not in the imaginations of the seagulls. And some people have even put this, I think, in Memory Alpha, that it's tied to Sigmund Freud. This is all crap. If you look up the chorus, you will clearly find out that it is a device of Greek tragedy, and none of these modern people, not Sigmund Freud, not the seagulls, and certainly not Peter Sellers, invented the idea of the chorus. So harmony in the chorus is actually Marnie Moseman, and she is John Delancey's wife. Which is a made-up name, of course, because it should be Jean Delancier. But whatever, it's been anglicized. And that is his wife and the mother of his son. So they have kids together, and she's quite pretty, isn't she? The rocks at the meeting are actually from the ill-fated conceptions of Star Trek V, The Final Frontier. And you'll all recall that poor William Shatner wanted to have them sort of spring to life as demons. And then, of course, they never did. They reused the rocks there. So the rocks around that is from Star Trek V, The Final Frontier. And the cliff is, I have had enough of you.
Love it.
You'll notice that cliff over and over again. And unfortunately for my husband, I yell, I have had enough of you every time I see it. This is the episode where fans knew that LeVar Burton was openly complaining behind the scenes that he had to wear his visor, citing to the production that he had a talent for eye expressions. He had very expressive eyes. What a lovely cast and crew. So no one wanted Gene on the set at this point. Thanks a lot, Hurley. And lots of bitching and whining and ego tantrums about everything. Gene Roddenberry conceived the visor from a banana comb. It's fundamental to the character. What else did I write? Riva is arrogant and rude. And didn't you notice that he didn't touch any of the women's chests? You know how he would touch everyone's chests? There was definitely no Troy touching there. LeVar Burton has really long and dirty nails in this episode. Ooh, man, just ooh. Jean-Luc grabbing Riva by the head and yelling to comfort him is absolutely ridiculous. You don't yell at deaf people. From the point of view where Data demonstrates his aptitude and proficiency in all gestural languages, every viewer expects Data to become the interpreter. The reasons Riva gives for Data not being used are preposterous, given that so many millions and millions of lives are at stake. And so that's all I have to say about...
As a whisper. Loud as a...
Loud as a...
Oh, my goodness. Now I'm glad they made that episode just to get your review of it. The Drusif, welcome. Good to see you.
Hey, Drusif, so nice to see you. Yes, Bionic Belly Button. LeVar Burton complained about his visor. He actually, talked about how expressive his eyes were. I've read that in several places that are verifiable. So he was, at one point, he wanted to shake the visor. He felt that Lord. He could emote better if he did not have a banana comb on his face. But, let's look at the track record of Gene Roddenberry inventing things. And look at every single invention has come to fruition. So one day that banana comb might actually be a visor for people, and won't LeVar Burton feel foolish then?
I mean, look, they pay you to do a job. Just do whatever that comes with the job. Wear the damn thing. You're getting paid big money.
Yeah,
Go dig a ditch. You know, don't whine about stuff like that.
yeah, and at this point, if you are a true Trekkie, you've heard me now with verified stories about how they all hated their uniforms. They thought their uniforms were
Right.
ridiculous. They didn't, they thought, Patrick Stewart complained about Livingston. He didn't want Livingston on the set. He didn't want aquariums on the set. He felt, quote unquote, they were cruel, and just all the other stuff they were bitching and whining and moaning about. It's like, you're being paid to pretend for a living and you're on a hit show.
Yeah.
Just, tamp down the ego, man.
Hey, we'll find somebody else. You don't want to do it? It's cool. Go ahead. Go. You can go and not wear the uniform. I'm sure there's 50, 100, 200 people right out there that would be willing to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that to tell you the truth, I can't imagine a truly emotive actor saying that he would do a much better job without the visor. Wouldn't a truly talented actor see it as a challenge where he could emote beyond that visor? That, to me, I think is the true challenge of an actor, not making things easier. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, look, he did a fine job. We all like I like Geordie fine. So he just needs to look. People, maybe he grew up. I don't know about it, kind of, but maybe he looked back on it and go, "Oh, well, that wasn't so bad. At least people like the character." That's what he should. That's what you take away from it. But who knows?
Yeah, exactly.
So your rating for Loud as a Plop?
Loud as a. For me, this is a total C-. It's lucky it gets a C-. They could have done something so much better. And when you find a plot device from ancient Greece and it's in a Greek tragedy, you don't say that you invented that. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Just don't do that.
Good
That's
point.
That's not good.
I actually gave it the same thing, and I mean, I couldn't work up enough emotion to give it anything lower than that. I mean, it was just sort of there. I mean, we didn't have a lot certain. There weren't some of the things that could have been more annoying, like if Wesley got involved or whatever. So yeah, C- as well. Now I will ask our wonderful chat to please give your rating and any comments you may have on Loud as a Raspberry. That she does it so much better than me. So go ahead, chat. Let's have your ratings of
green light, let her rip, crowd.
Is that let's see, Warp 6.2? Okay, Warp 6.2, a negotiator not wanting a brief. Okay, I don't know if that's your review of it or not there, JT. So I may have misunderstood you, but let's see. Briefing and then ask what's changed. Well, maybe you'd know if you'd attended the briefing, idiot. Yeah. Also, Wesley replacing the chorus and saving the day was awesome. Terrell. C+ for Terrell 72. It was an interesting and well-made episode, but not great. Gotcha. Snorter Poopos Cuber says C-. This episode is mostly about the most obnoxious diplomat in Federation history.
Yeah.
At least he can spare some of his important time for trying to impress Troy and try his hand at negotiating.
Yeah.
The concept of the chorus was interesting, but Riva was far too dependent on them. As their deaths demonstrate, a negotiator should have several methods of communication at his disposal. That is a good.
So why not? Yeah, point. Why not just use data at that point when millions of lives hang in the balance? He should have used data. Very good point. Absolutely, you're right.
By the way, why does Troy insist on discussing someone's mental state in form of maybe of other people in front of other people? So
yeah, it's probably autocorrect.
She must have slept through the classes on HIPAA.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah, I hate it when she does that.
The wonderful Bionic Belly Button says, I also give it a C because I did enjoy the idea of chorus, but it was pretty boring. Yeah, I'm with you there.
You would love Sophocles. Please pick up the works of Sophocles. His work with the chorus is absolutely wonderful. I studied it in university, and it was just absolutely just loved reading every single word of it. Marvelous, marvelous.
Indeedishness. Lord Thoth, C plus, an episode I appreciate more now than when I first watched it in '89. Rare for me. Dealing with mental health and handicapped patients in my line of work makes me appreciate it. Communication is hard.
It is.
Well, there you go. Absolutely. Phantom Outsider, C. Interesting concept, but lost a lot in the execution. There was a lot of killing time, like without killing time when like Data starts telling a story in sign language, lazy writing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
The Hogfather, welcome. It is good to see you. Welcome here. Always a pleasure. I don't believe we've seen you here before, so welcome. Always like seeing new people. Let's see here. Mrs. Dadman walking. D. Just found it blah. Reva way too arrogant and just creepy with Troy.
Yeah.
He truly was arrogant to the end, with refusing to let Data interpret.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
absolutely.
Mrs. Dadman Walking, can I just say that I've missed you when I miss you when you're not around? I absolutely love your ratings. I totally agree. If the idea was also to create that bridge to the hearing impaired community, why make him so bloody arrogant that he's insufferable? You don't even want to be around him if that was the bridge you were trying to build. So I totally agree with you, Mrs. Dadman.
Deedishness. Sandra Feliciano, C. Deafness separates one from society. It's isolating. Having a chorus with him all the time had to be comforting. Suddenly, lacking support had to be devastating. Diplomats should be able to adapt. Indeed. The great Eric K. D minus. Wow.
Yep.
I struggled to watch this one again.
Yep.
I just was not interested in Reva. Troy was annoying. Reva annoying. The chorus annoying. Could have been a good story, but I just found it blah and meh. By the way, one of the guys playing the chorus, Randy Ogilvy, that guy popped on Star Trek a lot later.
Yep. Eric, if you ever have to watch it again, just pull out of it the only joy I pull out of it. I have had enough of you.
Love that scene. One of my favorite scenes in Trek.
Yep, me too.
You're purple off with AC, aka the great Steve Mitchum.
The giant man who lives in Vegas. Okay, that's what his handle should actually be. Conan in Vegas. Can you please change your name to Conan in Vegas for me, please?
He might do that. You never know. C minus. I was learning ASL at the time, and I was bored.
Yeah.
Wolfie, 762. C minus. I think it's great that they try to include a person who has a hearing challenge. However, it is a poorly executed story. Talk about taking a step back with the freeze frame phaser effects.
Yep.
That was. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Well.
Yep. Excellent.
This feels like a bad TOS port to TNG.
Yep.
Loud as a mouse fart is a good analogy for how much I remember the episode.
Oh God, I love you, Wolfie. Ow, ow, ow!
Indeedishness. D, just a boring episode for Ted Millich. Thank you, Ted. And the wonderful Jill is here. Go for it, number one.
Well, hello, Jill. Okay, so Jill has done 4. And the reason for this is because there's such huge character restriction in the live chat. So she's done a 4-parter, and she's giving the episode a B. And Jill says, I like this one. And I believe whether you agree or not depends upon if you like the unique method of communication they have. And I do. 2 of 4, Jill says, he knows that the full details of the dispute are irrelevant next to understanding why both parties now want peace and to use that to grow a resolution. I think that's brilliant diplomacy. Jill says 3 out of 4. Even his creepy attraction to Troy, everyone agrees it's creepy, wasn't interesting when he began to use sign language. Troy is an expert at charades, but Data is better. So they should have pushed him aside at the end. 4 of 4. Jill says, it was a little comical when Picard grabs his face and screams at him. Yeah, like WTF. We never find out if the clever idea to bond learning sign language actually works or not. Yeah, and these people, and that's all Jill has to say.
Thank you, Jill.
And these people don't seem to like they behaved so rashly and so barbarically that, you know, he could have beamed down there and they just could have, you know, used a disruptor on him as well. Can I just say, yeah, the disruptor. Whew, I definitely don't want to die with a disruptor.
That was a bad one there, but thank you so much, Jill. We appreciate you. The enigmatic drop bear says C-. An attempted exposition of equality and the role of communication in arbitrating disputes. Unfortunately, the story let it down.
Beautiful.
Gotcha.
Beautiful.
Let's see here. Indeed. Kal-El 48, buddy. C, interesting premise, but I neither liked nor hated this episode. Kind of like me, you were just sort of kind of just sitting there. Going,
indifferent. Okay. Yeah.
Stephen Thompson, Captain James C. Scott Walker. M, rated M for Matt or 3 raspberries. I have expressive eyes too behind my glasses. Well, you're not the only one wearing glasses, dude.
So good.
Raymond Feliciano Raven, buddy. C-. The best part of this episode is Raquel's raspberry. A diplomat with no diplomatic skills. Go figure.
Right?
Good point.
But that's true. So it's very important for me to tell everyone in the audience that Raymond is an author. So yeah, like what Raymond's getting to is the same thing I'm getting to, that same place. When you're an author, you want to build sympathy. You want to cheer for these characters. You want them to succeed. And this guy is such an a-hole in a capital way that you cannot even cheer for him. So it's very odd because it's meant to do all of these wonderful things and instead it makes them very negative. And yeah, we need the poop Zamboni.
Just Joe 47 C. It's not bad or great. The ideas are very Trek. Yeah, so that's what I was saying as well. And it gave Spiner Data some stuff to do. So the deaf dude didn't think Data couldn't do the job. Yeah, what a machinist. Exactly. He is. Well, we like lurkers, Hogfather, so we appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Let's see here. Oh, what'd I do? Oh, you did it. I don't know how I got it twice. Dadman walking 55, sorry. B, I must be in a different reality because I thought it solid. My only complaint was Mrs. Dadman walking. Not even 50 minutes in? Shut up, Wesley. Go away, Wesley. It's distracting me while watching.
Dad,
well,
I love you, but I love your wife more. I'm sorry.
Mrs. Dadman's awesome.
She's always like her opinions. They're always solid. And Dadman, sometimes I love you, man, and I totally respect your opinion. But on this one,
well, so yeah, that's like Jill said. You're not the only one that liked it. Jill liked it too.
Yeah, Jill liked it too.
And it's important you all know that it doesn't matter what our opinions are. If we hate something, you love it, fine. Just express it and be honest, and vice versa. If we think it's the greatest thing ever and you hate it, put it in there. We want your opinions and we want them honest. Yes. No one's judged here.
That's
unless
right.
Unless you like Wesley, then we're going to hurt you. No, we're just kidding.
Yes, and always know that we're always going to turn it into a joke where everyone can have a good time and have a good laugh over it. So there's no hurt feelings here, and we love your honesty. And sometimes you guys make such wonderful points. Even people who love Wesley, who grew up with him and were relatively the same age as him, and imagined what it would be like to quote unquote drive a starship and stuff. We absolutely love these comments, even though we hate Wesley and Wesley sucks.
Of course he does. we can still love you, just not Wesley.
Yes.
Phantom Outsider, I think is another one. See, one more thing. Reva got over the death of his chorus really quickly. Seems like he has a lack of empathy. That is a good point as well.
You can't cheer from.
Let's see here. Let's see, make sure we got one more to go, and then we'll move to the next one. There he is. There he is. I was wondering that.
Love you,
The
Dan
great,
Man.
the great Mark D. What I see. I think. Did I miss anybody? If I missed someone, let me know while I'm doing this one. B minus for Mark D with a C. Didn't think this episode was that bad. Interesting concept for communication, and there was no magic Wesley fix in the end. Plus,
Yeah.
Reva's beard is almost as good as Lazarus.
That feathered hair. Oh, that feathered hair. I'm so happy that we retired that as a trend. The men with feathered hair. So glad that era came to a close. We closed that chapter on hair forever.
Indeed.
Oh, what? Everyone,
What?
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Captain. Everyone in the chat is blowing up. They're saying the Pete's are here, and I can't see them. They're not showing on
Who?
my side. Scuba Pete!
Oh, Scuba Pete.
And family, the Pete's are here. I can't see you.
I have my
StreamYard's
chat stopped.
yeah, I can't see you on this side of StreamYard. Scuba Pete!
Scuba
I love you.
Pete, good to see you.
I
Thanks for
love you.
being here. Absolutely. Number 2 from Mark. And the same security that let Lazarus loose on the Enterprise didn't take the weapons away from the aliens on the planet. Yep.
Yeah.
But I thought Reva learned some humility at the end. He admitted his mistakes and bad attitude. Did anyone else think that Reva looked like one of the PGs?
Yes, the hair. Bionic
Yeah,
Belly
he
Button
did.
is talking about it too. Just the hair. Like, let's just close that chapter on that hair. No one ever have that hair ever again, except for Farrah Fawcett. Farrah Fawcett can have that hair forever because she was
Well, yeah.
gorgeous. Even in
Let's see
Saturn
here.
3.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, she's fantastic.
Yeah.
See if somebody's I'm sorry. I thought it was. Oh, wait a minute. I missed somebody.
It's okay,
Hang on.
honey.
Let's see here. Oh, Miss Janet, did I miss you? Let me see. I'm sorry. Or maybe, or I didn't get to it yet. Let me see. But Eric says I missed you, so thank you, Eric. Appreciate you, brother. I'm looking for it now, Janet. And
Our
I can't.
Galaxy Girl. Our Galaxy Girl. Where is
Yes,
our Galaxy
absolutely.
Girl?
Where is Janet? I see one thing she wrote, but that was for saying hello to Hunk Father. I'm looking for it, Janet. It could be mean I have garbage eyesight. So you never know. Could have missed it.
Or StreamYard is acting up because there are some people I can't even see in the chat. If I can't see you in the chat and I have not hollered your name or said hello to you, please know that it's because I can't see you.
Did I get Terrell with the C plus there? I think I did. 72.
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
Janet, I'm not seeing it, which doesn't mean much. I have lousy eyesight. Let's see here. Okay. Thank you, Eric. Appreciate you, bro. So here we go. Janet, I give the episode a D, and I want Clobby to set up a meet and greet in NOLA. Well, sure. Absolutely.
What's NOLA?
New Orleans, Louisiana.
Yeah, Janet, that's what we are trying to do. We want to do ClobbyCon. We will, honey. We're going to, but I don't want to put it on Clobby where he rents a place and we do a meet and greet like that. What I was thinking is we might actually meet at a convention in Louisiana. So there's a few of them. I looked them up, and I think there are 3 at least decently sized conventions, comic book conventions there. And I was thinking maybe we could do that and take the burden off of him. And then we could make good on all of these promises to do several activities. We have several viewers from Louisiana who have suggested that we might be able to rent one of the smaller, or get them to donate it, smaller theaters to run some of the Star Trek movies, and we could watch. And Pat S. has he has a master's in education. He's offered to take us around to the used bookstores so that we can go and find different things, because Louisiana is filled with wonderful Star Trek treasures. So if you you feel like voicing your opinion on how you would like things to go, please look at the comment section, like the information on this show once we come to a close, because it has Clobby's email in it. And you can go and look at the conventions, pick a convention that you like, give Clobby some reasons why. And once we take in all of that feedback, that's when we can organize something. And I think it would just be wonderful. I just don't want 50 or 60 people showing up in Louisiana thinking they're going to sleep on Clobby's Chesterfield. If we can, and it's up to him to host us all. So, and plus we don't have a budget for that. So
Chesterfield.
Yeah, sorry. What is it? Sofa.
Couch, sofa.
Oh, yeah, Americans, couch. The couch.
She had to explain that one to me earlier. New Bomb Turk, how you doing there? Well, yeah. I want to contradict my first officer in one respect. If there are any like really, really super hot Instagram girls listening to this, they're more than welcome to come. But other than that, yeah, you know, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, yes, please, everyone in the chat, not just our wonderful Galaxy girl, make sure that you voice your opinion on this, because those Louisiana cons, they're coming up in the next few months. And, you know, there are many people who are of modest means. And so they would like to save up for that, or maybe book a train ticket, or I don't know if you have Greyhound where you guys live. We don't have Greyhound here, but I know you might have it there. Or people like me, I have to fly in, and I would also like to pack up cosplay. So I'll be bringing my Andorian, my Vulcan, and my Dream Girl costume to that con. So I plan on staying the weekend. So bring in that feedback, guys. Start and gals, start giving that feedback to Clobby through his channel's email, which will be in the show information. It's on every single video Clobby makes.
Well, I think we're ready to move on to our next episode, are we not?
We are, boss. We are.
Well, go for it.
Okay, folks, we're on to the Schizoid Man. Of course, some people say that this is Spock's brain for TNG. This is season 2, episode 6, prod code 131. So we're out of order. This was first broadcast on January 23rd, 1989. And if you're following along, let's keep in copyright compliant. If you're following along, I am reading excerpts from Star Trek 365, The Next Generation by Paula M. Blog, and she gets a little help from her husband, Terry J. Erdman. And of course, the book is blessed by the great Ronald D. Moore. We are on tile or block or brick or whatever the heck you call it, because it's definitely not a page. And if you own the book, you know what I'm talking about. We are on 79.
Mr. Angel.
I'm
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, Angel's here? The chef's here?
Yeah, hey there.
Hey, sweetheart. Saying hello to you and your girlfriend. Nice to see you. I wonder what you made for breakfast this morning for her. I know you love making her breakfast. Okay, we're on 79 in the book, folks. Let's do it. Responding to a call for help, the Enterprise travels to the research facility of Dr. Ira Graves, the brilliant but eccentric scientist who mentored Data's creator, Dr. Noonien Sung. It was Graves's young assistant, Corrine, who summoned the ship in the hopes that someone aboard could help the scientist. Unfortunately, it's quickly determined that Graves's illness is terminal and he has little time left. Graves strikes up a friendly rapport with Data and shares his last breakthrough with the android, a device capable of transferring a human personality into a computer. After Graves dies, Data begins displaying uncharacteristically human tendencies, including a profound yen for the attractive Corrine, leaving Picard to wonder just what happened down in Graves's laboratory, wherever you're from. Data's never-ending quest to become more like his shipmates takes a giant leap in the wrong direction with his hirsute effort to emulate Riker's new, as of season 2, facial adornment. As was so often the case, Data's effort is served up for laughs, a lightweight prelude to the episode's central plot. Ira Graves's far more successful attempt to humanize the sentient android by replacing Data's consciousness with his own. Over the course of the series, virtually all of Data's personal attempts to improve himself were failures. arguably because he was already the kindest, gentlest person on the ship. To paraphrase Kirk's eulogy, what is she really going to do this? To paraphrase Kirk's eulogy in Star Trek II The Wrath of Khan, for his own allegedly unemotional science officer, of all the souls we would meet in our travels aboard the Enterprise D, his was the most human. Oh, boy.
Wow.
Wow. Paula, wow. Paula, if you're listening to this, you know I promote your books, and lots of people buy your books because I suggest your books. But wow, that was a real stinker, sweetheart. We're going to need the poop Zamboni for that one. Anyway, moving right along because that was just horrible. I can't even believe she allowed that to come out of her mouth and that she put it on paper and didn't delete it. Anyway, Clobby, what'd you think of the coverage? And what'd you think of the episode, Captain?
Well, I kind of with you there. That little joke. I don't know about her that little analogy or whatever she was doing. I might surprise you here, but I actually sort of like the episode.
Okay.
I don't know about more. It's more Turnabout Intruder than Spock's brain. And it really, but I don't really see the Spock's brain analogy at all, to be honest with you. But maybe just because people don't like it. I don't know. No, Thoth we know hates it apparently.
Yeah, that is the consensus. Like the people who hate this episode, they say it is as bad as Spock's brain. So
I don't know. I mean, the idea of this genius being able to upload himself into data, that's more credible than alien machine just allows you to transpose people's spirits or people's minds that they do. And I'm a weirdo who likes Turnabout Intruder. I like, let's see here. I like W. Morgan Shepard as an actor. I always have. And I thought Spiner did a great job. Again, the story's not much. It's very simplistic. There's not much going on. So I cannot really defend the episode that much. I like Susie Plaxton, of course. But I think Spiner's terrific in this thing.
Yes.
I really like his performance a lot. And that's enough to carry the episode to be at least. And there's another little component to it that I sort of liked. The fact that they didn't string it along to the last 5 minutes to realize something was going on. Almost immediately, they knew something was wrong with Data. And they figured out fairly quickly that ain't Data.
Yes.
That at least because I was, they didn't really carry it too long. So I just think the episode is not really anything particularly special to write home about. I just think the performance by Spiner plus its ending was, again, a little bit unconventional. Usually when a bad guy takes over, some evil takes over a member of a cast, they go out with violence. This man who is a crusty old bastard and all this stuff, when he sees that he's starting to use violence, it repulses him because he's a brilliant scientist, and he decides rather than having some big crazy ending where Wesley saves him finds a way to trick Data into saving him or something like that, the guy just comes to the conclusion on his own that that's not right what he did, and he didn't want to become that. So he was a very flawed human being. I don't know. I didn't mind the episode. I thought it was just an okay, decent, enjoyable episode, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I didn't see that much wrong with it personally.
Well, you and I rarely disagree, but on this one, I think this is another stinker. It's another poopy diaper. And can I just say that there are some outstandingly hysterical comments in the chat. I love you all. Keep those rolling in. Scuba Pete, I love you. And what's it's just Scuba Pete and JT Kirk. Data's brain, JT Kirk. Oh, Data's honey, brain. You're just rocking that chat. Love you, love you.
By the way, I think the Prisoner did call and ask for its title back.
Yes. Well, it's supposed to be an homage, which I get to in my notes, because, of course, I'm new to The Prisoner. I was introduced to The Prisoner by Clobby, which I think is one of the most beautiful Kafka-esque mixtures of poetry and prose and just all of the wonderful things that are Patrick McGoohan. Just what a wonderful Irishman he is.
What if that's true what Snort of Purpose says?
What?
That the part of Ira Graves was at one point, and because that episode title was taken because they wanted McGoohan to play that part.
All I can confirm is that originally they were writing in homage they were using Dr. Ira Graves as an homage, but I can get into that when I
Okay,
get into
go
my
for it.
notes.
Go for it.
Okay, so William Morgan Shepherd was the Klingon commander on Ruapenthe. Of course, he was the warden, ST6, Undiscovered Country, and he was also in Bliss on Voyager. He is also
That's
in
right.
the filth. So I don't talk about the filth.
Is he in the filth? What
yeah,
filth? What do you do in the filth? I can't. They did. You're right. Oh my.
Yeah, honey. He's in the poopy diaper, and he's directly in the middle of the poopy diaper, the most full one. Dr. Ira Graves is an homage to Patrick McGowan's The Prisoner, the schizoid man from 1967. How sad, because they completely blew it. It is said that the idea of Data trying Picard's baldness after he tries Riker's beard was cut from filming. This is said often. I have not read it anywhere that has been vetted by a professional editor in a printed book by a professional editor. Susie Plaxon, Dr. Salar, Star Trek royalty, I put in my notes. Of course, we have Kalar in a Voyager. She's female Q. Enterprise, she's Tara, the Andorian. So we have Susie Plaxon, who is the most wonderful Star Trek royalty, of course, playing 4 races, Vulcan, Klingon, Q, and Andorian. And I just absolutely love Susie Plaxon. I cannot get enough of her. She's marvelous. Why would Data tell him his most closely guarded secret after lore? And then I wrote in my notes, come on.
Data's gullible anyway, yeah.
Yeah, a total waste of the concept of transhumanism. So transhumanism it's when you're this whole idea that we have that one day we'll be able to take our consciousness and transfer it into computers. So I sort of felt like it was wasted there. Picard uses or says part of Sonnet 18. Maybe those folks who have studied Shakespeare in university noticed that. And he uses the line about poetry giving love eternal life. I thought that was a bit of an odd choice, because in Sonnet 18, the poet immortalizes the love through written word. The poet does not give life. In that way. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's just odd that they would use that. Transhumanism is, anyways, I thought that was clumsy. They say in the episode 2 times that Data has 2 distinct personalities. Well, if that's so, how come we never hear from Data? And then Graves says that Data is dead. Well, then why did they tell us that he has 2 distinct personalities? Troy at one point, Captain, he has 2 distinct, I sense 2 distinct personalities. And
that was stupid.
Yeah. And how come Karine can see Graves in the panel, but not in Data? So she recognizes him instantaneously in the panel once the transhumanism transpires. And she sees him immediately in 5 lines of code, but she could not recognize him in Data. So for that reason, this is a for me.
Keely Chow, roll tide. Hey. Was it? By the way, I don't see calling it the Schizoid Man unless it had something to do with Magoo. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. This episode's not about a doppelganger.
No.
So, and which the Schizoid Man from The Prisoner was about a doppelganger. So, it's nothing like that. There's no real Spock's brain element either, than just because if you think it sucks, I get that part. But it's just about a scientist stealing. It's Turnabout Intruder, really. Steals Data's body. I mean, that's my closer analogy. Whether you like the episode or not, that's what I think of. And I don't think the execution was particularly great or anything. I just like the performances. So, and again, I didn't have a horrible time while I was watching it, like I did. Well, I'm not going to say which episode. A lot of episodes in this show in the early seasons. So I don't know. But anyway, it just didn't bother me as much as some other episodes, or even bore me like that last one we were just talking about. So.
But for me, now that you've exposed me to The Prisoner, and anybody who's watched The Prisoner realizes how cerebral it is, and how it uses metaphor and how it uses illusion to create this marvelous sort of Kafka-esque. It's very surreal. It's very nightmarish, but it has the same feeling as Samuel Taylor Coleridge. There are times when you feel like you're reading poetry in an opium den. Like it's that show. That show is the
Yeah.
height of poetry and prose. It is highly cerebral and it is a masterpiece. It shouldn't even be
Yes.
on TV. It's such a masterpiece. It should be a book. It is magnificent. And so why the Schizoid Man, why this is an homage to our Patrick McGoohan, I think it is a smear on Patrick McGoohan, and the Prisoner should not be associated with this at all. This is poopy diaper, and it's rubbing itself on
Right.
something really wonderful, and it shouldn't.
I guess they're trying to say the schizoid is when the two people are in Data's body, but I mean it's just lame. It's lame using that title. I don't know, they should have called it "Turnabout About Again Intruder."
I love you, Clave.
So, what is your rating of the Schizoid Man? The C. Okay.
With a strong reprimand from this post-secondary instructor to never sully the name of Patrick McGoohan ever again by naming something so rotten after something so lovingly crafted with such perfection and intellect and care.
What about if he had been in the episode? That'd have been worse.
Oh my goodness. No, he wouldn't have. He would have totally freaked out. He would have been like, no, you can't do this. This is a really bad idea. I mean, you're talking about somebody who's so brilliant and creative.
He was in some pretty bad stuff, though.
Yeah, it's true. But imagine, okay, so what you're saying is if he were Dr. Graves?
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, because he was in Baby, Secret of the Lost Legend. So I love the guy, but, you know.
Oh, I don't know. That's very difficult because
even a great actor could be in a crappy movie, you know, or episodes or something, you know.
I loved that B-rate movie that you made me watch that I thought was absolutely phenomenal. Like it's if you like science fiction,
the 40 Man?
No, he wasn't in that.
No, which one are you talking about?
I'm getting mixed up. It's okay. I'll look it up. Anyway,
I got you. There was Lansing.
I love him. I love him. I love him. And so now you're starting to tickle the back of my brain, and I'm starting to think, you know, maybe if they did get him on the episode, I wouldn't have minded this.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think, but all I'm saying is even he could be in the Stinker. I mean, I don't care how great they are as an actor, they could be in the Stinker. I mean, if name one great actor, I don't care how great they are, that hasn't been in a Stinker movie or a TV show or something like that. So, you know, as much as I love him, he was the bad guy. What else was he in? He's been in some bad stuff.
Michael Beacom
was in Scanners.
Scanners. That movie was so
disturbing.
Scary. It was so terrifying. It gave me nightmares. I had nightmares for years after watching that movie. Michael Beacom, what character did he play in Scanners?
He was the doctor, the guy. He was Michael Ironside was. Well, I can't remember his name in the thing, but he was the guy behind whatever.
Oh my God!
I reiterate, he was not in Buckaroo Banzai. You're right, Max Amandaberg. Good to see you. He was in Baby, Secret of the Lost Legend, and he was in something else that wasn't all that good. But I mean, in other words, he was mostly great. He was a great bad guy in Braveheart. So.
Yeah.
But so anyway, yeah, anyone can be in any bad thing. So anyway, you were a C. I was a C also.
Yeah.
And to me, you got to understand though, a C is a high rating for a lot of where we are with Next Generation right now, folks.
Yeah.
For me, it is anyway. It's a fair, decent, not so bad rating. But so I will ask our wonderful chat. Oh yeah, he was the bad guy in Silver Street, which is a great movie. I love that.
And if you haven't watched The Prisoner, please watch The Prisoner. It is just absolutely beautiful. The first thing it reminded me of was reading a Samuel Taylor Coleridge poem. It just absolutely beautiful show. You have to watch it. It's a mind bender. It's surreal. It's nightmarish. It's got almost every kind of literary device you can use. It's so good. It's so good.
Indeed, I love it. You know me, I love it. I love it. I'm so glad you watched it. We didn't talk about it one of these days. I I think our wonderful friend Bionic Belly Button's a fan as well. We should all get together on a Wednesday night and talk about it.
Yay! I'd love to talk to that beautiful chickie. She's one of my favorite people on the internet.
Well, there you go. There you go, Bionic. Gonna come on and talk about it with us one day. Raymond Feliciano says D-. I think. I mean, that was a violation, even if it was data. Mm-hmm. And come on. Troy can read androids. Yeah, I didn't understand that either. How all of a sudden she can read an android's emotions. Well, the human emotions were inside of him.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. B- for Susie Platt.
They were code.
Huh?
But if they were inside of data, they were code.
You got me. I'm not defending it. I don't understand it either.
I know.
Susie Plaxton and Morgan. Yeah, a B for minus for Susie Plaxton and Morgan. Yeah, Morgan's a really good actor.
He
was, and his son Mark Shepard was a pretty good actor too. Still is, I think. For overall C-. Time to skip right to the board, please. Terrell 72. B-. This was a decent early episode. The series was starting to get better and better at this point.
Yeah.
Lord Thoth, A+. I thought this was the greatest episode ever made. It is a top 10er. I'm sorry. The Mirror Universe, Lord Thoth. Sorry, brother.
You're taking after Eric these days, eh? You and Eric, you guys are into troublemakers. You and Eric K. It's bad. And it's very enjoyable. When you and Eric are bad, it's totally enjoyable. I love it.
Oh my goodness, Lord, the great Lord Thoth, brother. D-. Dislike this ep. Waste of a great actor. Shout out to B5 and Soul Hunter. Yeah, he was great in Soul Hunter. Oh yeah. The science is awful in the episode. Makes no sense. Only plus was Susie and her Vulcan Solar. The only plus was Susie. Yeah, I'm with you there. Lay their hands on me. Lay your hands on me, Doc. Yeah, that was kind of funny.
Obviously, Mrs. LT went to go and make herself a cup of tea or pour herself a cup of brandy.
Indeedishness. Stephen Thompson, C. I could never give Susie Plaxton a raspberry.
No.
Love Data and Graves whistling. If I only, I like that. If I only had a brain. Otherwise, the return of meh. There you go.
Yes.
Snort a pooper's cube.
It's if I only have a heart. That.
Yes, if I only had a heart.
Yeah.
Well, didn't he was talking about I only had a heart, but the music was for all of that. Though, like if I only had a There you go.
Yeah.
Bop bop bop. Snort a poopus. Got a big one for us here. He's got an Ash pick. He's got an Ash pick. Anyone else miss Ash? I miss Ash. C- for Snort a poopus cubers. Data tells a complete stranger about his off switch. Well, he is a child sometimes. It was not a smart thing to do, but he's also pretty innocent. Brent Spiner gets to play another dual role and does it well. His infamous eulogy speech is memorable. It was kind of weird, but yeah, it was. I find it odd that Troy has to run a something or other psychobabble test to learn Data is not himself. Yeah, at least Picard just figured it out because Data was acting like an asshead.
Yeah.
Susie Plaxton as Dr. Solar. Yay, I suspect more than a few fans were hoping. She take over for Dr. But well, that's for sure. That would have been so much better if Dr. Pulaski or Dr. Pederasky had. Oh boy. W. Morgan Shepard's performance wonderful, and it's nice that they have Graves making the right decision in the end and not relying on some techno babble trick. That I was kind of behind that too. I thought that was a good idea. Nice. At least he was evolved to the sense he goes, yeah, I'm becoming a dang a-hole. I'm an a-hole. JT Kirk. 3,
JT.
Call me grandpas out of 5.
Love you, JT.
This episode either creates or kills canon on Dr. Sung and Data. Personally, I like Star Trek Enterprise's Dr. Sung story. To this, I like, and to this one, the near warp transport thing utterly failed. Indeedishness, sir. Phantom Outsider. B for the Graves Data Wesley burn. Your childlike mind. Take that, Wesley. Wesley runs off crying, bestest ever. Also, now we know who might have suggested Data be fully functional. Bad grandpa.
Bad grandpa.
Yep.
so funny.
That's true. Just Joe McGowan was the warden in Escape from Alcatraz. Good call.
Oh, was he?
With
That
Clint
was a
Eastwood.
good
Oh yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Oh, I love that movie. I haven't seen that movie in years.
Me either. It's been a long time since I've seen
That is a good, damn good movie.
Janet. Even with the weak story, I enjoyed this episode. The actors, the actresses used brought to life a lifeless script.
Mhm.
I would give this episode a C for courage to even be on this show.
That's our Galaxy Girl, folks. Thanks for
There you
that,
go.
Janet. Excellent.
Just Joe. B. Anytime Spiner gets to overact, and it's all right in my book. Also, the added bonus of Susie Plaxton, she's
Yeah.
smoking hot no matter what species she plays.
Mhm.
I'm with you there, brother.
Yeah.
I love her. And yes, Solar would have been a really, I mean, you know, I guess they didn't want to have a Vulcan or something, but I would have loved that if she'd been. Obviously, we were glad we get Beverly back later, but that she should have been the main Dokta on the show. Wolfie.
It's really funny though, because Pulaski, like it's hard for me to say sometimes because you know the acronym See You Next Tuesday. Well, in Greek, there's a word that they use for see you next Tuesday, and it sounds almost identical to Pulaski. And that's all I'm going to say because I don't want to curse in Greek or in English on air. But whenever I hear her name, I think of the acronym and I think it's hysterical. And you might want to Google that. But very close to Pulaski is is a see you next Tuesday in Greek.
Yikes. C minus for Wolfie 762. Data gets taken over, replaced by X Part 2. Sure as hell won't be the last time Susie Paxton. That's right.
Yeah.
One tends to get excited when they think Data is about to backhand Suxley. But it doesn't happen.
No.
Listening to Data's speech was like wearing Graves' adult diaper after it had been soiled.
I love you, Wolfie. Wolfie, you know I love you, man.
Mr. Angel C. Like the core idea, but Data running into Windows 7 loading. And Troy needs to kick that Romulan ale habit. I can sense it and smell it on the breath.
Oh my god.
Let's see.
Our resident chef, ladies and gentlemen.
Bionic, did you have a review? I see you said yay. Did you have a review of that one, Bionic? If I missed it, let me know. I hope I haven't missed any. But it happens sometimes. Because sometimes I don't see the rating, I guess. Santa for Santa C. Just not great. No original ideas. It wasn't very memorable or significant. Mrs. Dadman. Michael Caine was in Jaws of Revenge. Yeah, that's a good point. Great actors can be in garbage. You know, Michael when Michael Caine was asked why he did Jaws of Revenge, he actually said, well, you know, I needed some work done on my house. That's what he said. So,
hey, remember when actors used to be truthful? And thanks for that, Mrs. Dadman.
B for Mrs. Dadman Walking. I enjoyed this, mostly because of Brent Spiner. Many parts of story did not make sense, but I will overlook because of Brent Spiner. Did I mention that I really like Brent Spiner? Well, Mrs. Dadman, maybe you do, but don't ever watch the documentary Trekkies, or you'll see someone who likes Brent Spiner to the point where it will scare the hell out of you.
Yeah.
Scarier than your Avatar.
Yep.
Spiner films,
yeah.
I would not recommend it.
Yikes.
I mean, yeah, it's a fun documentary, but that part's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen it. KD. Does Troy's magic powers never stop evolving? Can she tell when the ship is in a bad mood too? Yeah.
Yes, she can. She can diagnose the ship's feelings. All she has to do is just reach out or run a little test.
Oh my goodness. Let's see here.
Snail Messiah is leaving. I need
to
sleep.
Snail must. Okay, Snail. Well, thank you for being here.
Need to sleep.
We appreciate you.
Watch this when I wake up. Oh, okay. All right. And then the stupid chat jumped. Just let me see what he says because Snail Messiah is a great supporter of this show. I need to sleep. We'll have to watch this when I wake up. Silly YouTube doesn't automatically start the stream, so I wanted for an hour before I realized I had to refresh. Night all. Aw, we love you, Snail Messiah. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, Snail Messiah. That's happened to me many times. I hear you. So thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. Enigmatic Drop Bear, 1 of 3. B plus raises some interesting moral hazard type questions. What would the attitude towards Dr. Graves have been were he not such a curmudgeon? Rather a charismatic, gentle, and humble man. Let's see here. Yeah, instead of being a dang old fool, but I kind of liked him for that. Would the perpetuation?
Yeah. Perpetuation.
Right? Yeah. Perpetuation. I can't. That's it. I'm moving the stupid screen where I can sit it. I know. I have it pushed back sometimes, and other times I have it. All right, now, okay. Now, the perpetuation of his genius and part of his consciousness be deemed for the greater good. Could Data's programming be preserved until a new host could be found for Dr. Graves? I do not know. Above my pay grade.
What a great point to raise, because we certainly could have answered that in TOS. In TOS, that there would have been plenty of opportunity to do that with these android bodies. So enigmatic drop bear, totally cool.
Indeed. Transhumanism is a complex subject, and Data is an excellent character to explore it. But unfortunately, this story was unable to get us there. A very good point. Thank you.
Totally agree. And transhumanism, folks, is very interesting because it is the heart of science fiction, right? Because remember, science fiction is our way of dealing with our struggles and our fears of technology and possibly meeting aliens. So transhumanism is something we may face. It's likely we will face it in the future. So I completely agree with enigmatic drop bear. We could have had such a wonderful romp with transhumanism here, and really explored what it would be like to deposit someone's soul in a machine.
Indeedishness. C- for Scuba Pete. The episode fell flat for me. Data's possessed sterlingness was pretty funny. Dr. Susie, very grrr. Yes.
Scuba Pete! I love you.
I nominate that we skip right to the board, says Raymond. He likes that Borg, doesn't he? Yeah. Bop, bop, bop. Let's see here. Dad man. B. I must like poopy diapers, raspberries, ha ha ha, because, and I was like, Spiner's acting ability drove the episode, especially teasing Wesley. Love Morgan Shepherd. I don't see Dr. Graves. I see General Isaac Trimble, Gettysburg. Yeah, he was in Gettysburg. That's right. By the way, that was good. I liked the Gettysburg was great. Michael Beacom, I can't tell sometimes if something is a review or not. No. Want a real mind bend? Put a comma in the opening. Seeing who are you? Who are you? Did you number 2? Who is number 1? You are number 6. I know you are number 6. People that where's Janet? Have we seen Janet? No, there's Janet right there. I mean, where's Jill? Have we seen Jill yet?
I don't know.
No Jill. She might. We'll see. Was the Great Mark D with the C's next? B plus for Mark D with the C. Spiner's brilliant in this episode, and it's a good exposition of something being studied now, transferring the human mind to a computer. Number 2 right here. All right. Graves doesn't want to die, and like any scientist, searches for a solution that touches upon some of the same themes as Measure of a Man, and Picard says Data is a unique life form. That is correct. It does touch on some of that. It did, actually. Absolutely. That was one of the things I thought about, even especially this time when I watched it, that I was going, very, almost like a prelude to that. No being is so important that he can usurp the rights of another. Now set him free. No being. Safety tip, never tell anyone you're off switch. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was not. Well, maybe Data learned a lesson there. In fact, yeah, it was not a good idea because he was pretty secretive about it before. Then he just tells
Yeah.
Grandpa. Um, Ted Millett, C, better than the last episode, but still nothing to write home
Right.
about.
I agree, Ted.
Oh, I see number 2 for Jill. Let me see number. I may have missed your first one, Jill. Hang on. Oh my goodness, it's weird, Jill. I'm not seeing your first one. That's strange.
Oh, really, Mr. Angel? Okay.
What?
Sorry, I'm just reading all the comments in the chat here. Just so many different interesting conversations going on. I just love you guys. Sometimes it seems like a tune out. I want you to know I'm not tuning out folks at home. It's just we have a very, very interactive, very intelligent chat. And so I like to read everything they say.
I can't find Jill's first one.
No, could
You
we
see
please
it?
ask one of the
All right,
wrenches to locate that?
Her second one is at 10:23 my time. I guess 9:23 your time. So I'm tracking from there.
Let me see if I can go.
Wow.
Find it, man. Let me see if I can
See,
find it.
I can't watch the chat on my TV thing like I thought I would be able to because it won't do it. If you do YouTube through like one of those deep Blu-ray players or something, it doesn't show chat. Oh, Mark. Wait, let's see here. Oh, Mark, thanks, dude. What? Oh, I got you. I thought he was sending me something. Sorry, Mark. Well, crap. I'll find it, Jill. I promise.
I'm looking understand. For it right now, hon. Okay. I think I've got. Where is it here? Dun, 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 dun,
if you can find one, I have 2 and 3.
Yeah, I can't find one. That's the one I'm looking for.
This makes no sense. I'm sorry about that, Jill. I'm working on it though.
No, I can't go past 9:20 or 20 minutes past the hour. It won't let me.
Try to find my.
Oh, StreamYards.
All right, let's see. We turn this thing down here. Tried it on my phone, Jill.
Oh, she reposted it. LT said she reposted it. Thanks, LT.
Okay, if you can find that one, then I'll put up 2. Thanks, LT. Oh, there we go. I got Jill's first one.
Okay, good.
Thank you, Mark D. Appreciate you, bro. C. This episode is completely ridiculous for all the science reasons Raquel said. The Vulcan doctor describes him perfectly. Brilliant, arrogant, eccentric, arrogant, but I just call him an ass. And there's number 2 if you want to go with number 2 there.
And anti-derivative Jill's 2 out of 3. She says, Spiner just steals the show. From the beard scene to the eulogy. To know him was to love him. To love
was
him
was
to know him. And the next one for anti-derivative Jill
is, there we go,
3 out of 3. And our wonderful Jill says, it's an interesting prelude to addressing data's rights as a living life form that we will explore more fully next week.
Yep, absolutely.
Or as my captain would say, indeedishness.
Indeedishness. Kal-El 4D8 says, B, I like this episode and the fact that they indirectly acknowledge the concept of a soul, although it was referred to as a consciousness in this episode. Let me find your next one here, sir. I know you got a next one. I'm not seeing it yet. Oh, there we go, Kal-El. Wait on there. Hang on a second. Spider's performance was really good, which is why I gave it a B. However, the episode's flaws are the reason why I did not give it. an A.
I respect that.
Gotcha.
I respect that. Yeah, I totally
right there
respect
with
that.
you, sir. Indeedishness. Thank you.
I like it. 1903. I love it when Picard's like, "No, you're done, Data. Like you're done.
You're done. You're done." Michael Beacom says, C-, great cast, but they tried to cram too many ideas into one episode, causing all to fall short.
You know, that's a good point, Michael Beacom, because if we just would have stuck with that transhumanism, wow, that it could have been marvelous. You know, like maybe that Isaac Asimov came up with the idea of the positronic brain, right? So let's say that the positronic brain begins to break down because there are too many memory engrams or engrams or whatever, and Graves has to pull himself out, or to the point where he might be, almost as though Data were driven to madness, like he is with his emotion chip. Just if they just would have left it with and kept it pure science fiction, I think we could have had something really golden here. So I totally agree, Michael Beacom, and Jill and I totally, totally, totally agree with you.
Indeedishness. There we go. The wonderful Bionic Belly Button says, I didn't have it rated, but I say a C. No great notes to add, so I hesitated on throwing my grade out there. Never hesitate. You're always welcome. We always want to see what you have to say, Bionic. You know that.
Yeah, beautiful. And everyone's here. Everyone's opinion matters here. And even when it's diametrically opposed to what somebody else is saying, because you know what? It's all good amongst Trekkies. And here we actually love it. Like Clobby and I love the people who love Wesley, who grew up imagining that one day they might become Wesley. Not only do we love it, but we respect it, even though we hate the character because it's a self-insert. So there's a really dynamic reactions here, and it's not, a dog pile on everyone. We truly want to hear what you think and what you feel, and we truly respect it. So never worry about throwing it down there, honey. Just throw down whatever you want to say.
Always, always. And it's always a pleasure. The great 32 flavors of Nick. I think he had to run out, but he stopped by. Our good friend Nick popped in for a second to say hello. Great to see you, buddy. All right. Well, I think we're ready to move on to our next episode.
Yes, 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 yes,
So
yes,
go
yes.
for it while I
So
get the stuff.
go. Okay. All right. So we are on Unnatural Selection, which is season 2, episode 7, and it first aired on January 30th, 1989. If you're following along, let's keep copyright compliant. I will be reading excerpts from a book that I highly recommend because the visuals in it are just amazing, and because of the veracity of the content for behind the scenes and production notes. This book is entitled Star Trek 365, The Next Generation by Paula M. Block. She does get a little help here from her husband, Terry J. Erdman, and the book has been blessed by the great Ronald D. Moore. I will be reading extemporaneously, so hold your fruit, keep your fruit, make a pie. We're on tile 83. Responding to a distress call from the USS Lantry, the Enterprise crew is shocked to learn that Lantry's entire ship complement has died of old age. Sound familiar? Picard orders the Enterprise to the Lantry's last port of call, the Darwin Genetic Research Station, where he discovers that Darwin's lab personnel also have been afflicted, apparently with a virus that causes rapid aging. The stricken staff members at Darwin are more concerned about the status of the genetically bred children whom they have in isolation. They want to release them so that they can live normal lives. Picard worries that the children are the source of the disease, because that would be the natural thing to think. But the researchers deny it until Dr. Pulaski becomes infected with the virus after examining one of the children. Aging an actor via elaborate makeup techniques is always a tremendous challenge, explains Michael Westmore, who I really, really respect a lot. That's particularly true when it's done for television, where, unlike feature films, there's little time built into the production schedule for makeup tests. It has to work the first time, notes Westmore, and it has to look real, or the audience will notice right away. By the time he became the makeup designer on The Next Generation, Westmore was quite skilled at applying old age makeup, thanks to his work on features like Raging Bull, True Confessions, and 2010. But the ticking clock on a weekly television show can be a killer. For a variety of reasons, Westmore hadn't been happy with the look of the 80-year-old Admiral Jameson in the first season's too short a season. That's okay. No one was. Clayton Rohner, the actor who played Jameson, was actually in his 20s, which meant the transformation Westmore had to pull off was extensive, a bald cap, a forehead, eyepieces for the upper and lower part of the eye, a throat piece, jowls, and a wig. The schedule for that episode, Westmore admits, brought him to the brink of nervous exhaustion. Still, he learned a great deal from the experience, particularly in terms of pacing himself, and he was quite pleased with his next feat of extreme aging in unnatural selection. The task was made easier by the fact that Diana Muldaur had a more mature face than Roner. We were able to make immediate changes by using highlight, shadow, and a little stretch rubber, Westmore says. With Roner, it was impossible to make those changes without using appliances. Westmore did create some appliances for Muldaur to convey the final stages of her aging, but the work involved was far less extreme. Overall, I was very happy with the end result, he says with a smile. And that is all the block text has to say about unnatural selection. So now I'm going to put it over to you, Clobby. First, I need to ask you, Captain, what did you think of the block coverage, and what did you think of this episode?
Well, first I will say shout out to the great Valiant Renegade, sir.
Yay!
Thank you for that super chat, $4.99. Hail, be safe this weekend, Clobby. Don't be a stranger, sir. We got to hang out one of these days if we both survive. I know you're in a danger area like I am with this hurricane, so good luck to you and yours, my friend. Be safe, and thank you so much for that, buddy. Appreciate it.
Please
Thank you.
down the hatches and be safe. He's in Louisiana as well. It's
not too
scary.
not too far from me.
Yeah, please take care.
Yep, take care, buddy. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it, sir. Interesting coverage. The episode, though. Wow. I'm sorry, I really can't stand it. This episode is a crashing bore to me in every way you can be boring. I love the deadly years, and first of all, wasn't genetic engineering outlawed?
Yeah.
Oops.
Well, of course. Yeah. So here we would be looking at something like Space Seed. We would be looking back at Space Seed and we would be saying, okay, well, it's not only that. How could the scientists be so dense, absolutely thick,
right?
Morons. Anyway, go ahead.
This episode is moronic. I mean, it's just really bad.
Yep.
Dull. Yep. Filled with dumb crap, not interesting at all. Not even. It's just absolutely pathetic. But I'll let you go for your notes because we don't have to spend much time on. It just doesn't even deserve the time. So go for it.
Fire up the crap, Zamboni folks. We got a on our hands. The planet is named after the first man in space, a Russian cosmonaut, Gagarin, or Gagarin. I don't know how to say it. I don't speak Russian, and I think most people in the chat don't speak Russian, but I'm sorry for butchering it. It's Russian. The Darwin Station is a set from Knight Rider, Night of the Drones, 1984. That's not the first time, of course, that they've used those old Knight Rider sets. And then I have in my notes, The Deadly Years, TOS, Season 2, Episode 12, Mixed with Dashes of Space Seed, Genetically Enhanced Humans. This was banned, Season 1, Episode 22. Pulaski is so insubordinate, it is unrealistic. She's insufferable. Why does Data ask if Pulaski is lying about getting the approval for the shuttle experiment? I thought that was also very odd. Why would Data say, Dr. Pulaski, are you sure that the captain has given you permission to do this? Once again, we have the chief with 2 pips. And I know that probably irks our military folks in the audience. Personally, I know nothing about the military chain of command. However, I do know that our fair Irishman is a chief, not a lieutenant.
Right, chief petty officer.
Yes. Transporter reconstitution has never been used before. Why did they say that in this episode? And then I put underneath, because of course this is my notes. Oh, really?
Magic transporter.
Yeah, the magic transporter strikes again. Hairbrush in a panty drawer. Oh, really?
Gotta keep it somewhere.
That's actually in my notes. I would never keep my hairbrush in my panty drawer, and I know none of the women in the audience keep their brush in their panty drawer. It sends a very odd message. So much McCoy is ripped off in this. Please stop it. You're making me sick. I had no idea that only one photon torpedo was needed to completely vaporize a ship. And that's all I have in my notes.
Yuri Gagarin. Hello there, Just the Normie. Thank you for popping in. Good to see you. Excuse me. Thanks to the great Eric K for that super chat. Thank you, buddy. $5 super chat. Russia as cosmonauts. He was the first man to speak. Yuri Gagarin. Yes, of course. Let's see here. Bop, bop, bop. What'd I do? Oh, it's wrong. Thank you, though, sir. Let's see. This episode, still with us, number one. I know you had to mute because you were handling something. No problem. Let's see here. I was waiting to. Well, she'll hear me, I think. She had to handle something real quick.
I got you. Sorry, the dog was barking.
No, I got you. No problem. No problem. Yeah, it was Yuri Gagarin, by the way.
Yes.
Cosmonaut, yeah.
So you do pronounce it Gagarin.
Okay. Well, that's to my understanding. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But yes, the only thing. All right, we have two. Did we have two episodes in a row? Or is my imagination where O'Brien is actually becomes a character instead of just somebody walking around?
Yeah,
and that's the only highlight of this episode for me because it's really just because I like O'Brien. It's kind of like almost seeing him start out. Yes, he has the Lieutenant Pipson. That's a problem, of course. But this episode is garbage.
It is.
In my opinion, this episode is absolutely. It's dumb. It's dull.
Yep.
It makes absolutely no damn sense. None of it makes any sense. It's. Oh God, it sucks. The magic transporter crap. I'm really getting tired of that.
And I love that they say that transporter reconstitution has never been tried before.
Never.
Which is why in my notes I went, "Oh, really?"
Yep.
Yeah.
Really?
Sad.
Never ever, huh? Okay. All right. Sure. Let me make sure I got the first one here. I think it's Lord Thought, our first. Your rating, then I'll give mine, and then we'll start with a.
Well, this is a big fat D for don't watch it. No, I'm kidding. No, it's a D with a solid.
I give it an F.
Okay.
Maybe I should have given it a D just because at least I like O'Brien, but it's just asinine. This doesn't make episode is just boring and stupid. If it were just boring, it wouldn't get quite an F, but it gets an F because it's also idiotic.
Yeah.
The great Lord Thoth, D-. Done much better in 1967. My wife does not keep a brush in her panty drawer.
I mean, bow chicka wow. Is this like? Do you have a shag carpet from the 1970s? Why do you have a hairbrush in your panty drawer? It's so weird. And when you make mistakes like that, and it becomes so distracting that you're like, okay, so is Ron Jeremy going to come in here? I don't know. It's just weird. Weird. It's just weird, and it takes your mind to a place it should not go. LT, why did they put that in this episode?
You got me. But, the magic transporter stuff's got to stop.
It does. And especially announcing that it's the first time they've ever done it.
Yeah, first time. I hope I'm starting at the right spot because Thoth put one up there. Could be missing. Yeah, except the 17 TOS episodes. Make sure I got the right one.
1903 says, I love 70s decor. Oh, so good, 1903.
Stephen Thompson says, Bet P. Hard is thinking, I never should have let Beverly leave. We now have info on Raquel's.
No, you don't. Goodness. No, you don't.
Well, I got to be honest with you. I didn't know. I knew nothing about the panty drawer until you mentioned it. I just thought they just found it in the drawer. I don't know what drawer is which or anything like that. I doubt many dudes do. They just, it was in a drawer. I didn't know.
Well, they
You brought that
actually
up.
pull out like a whole bunch of like undergarments to
No.
find the brush. So it's just so odd.
I
It's
gotcha.
like a standout moment where you're like, why? Why are you doing this? Why couldn't it be like Uhura? Why couldn't you just have a beautiful silver brush, or you know, or like Yeoman Ran, a beautiful silver brush on her vanity? Why is it in her
Gotcha.
drawer? It's so weird. And why do you have to take out lingerie to find it? Stop doing that. This is Star Trek.
Chief.
Stop it. Nobody thinks Pulaski is sexy. Stop it.
I thought she was when she was in Return to Tomorrow, and
Miranda. She's gorgeous as Miranda.
When she was on McLeod, I liked her in there. Parrot Head, hey there.
Hey, Parrot Head.
She was McLeod's girlfriend. McLeod was a good show. All right, let's see here. D. Let me know, anybody, if I missed someone, because I kind of. Oh, I'm sorry. Terrell has a review. Did I already do that one? D for crap.
Thank you, Tyrell or Terrell, whichever it is. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. D for doofus. So Dr. Bashir's parents did a bad thing getting him gene therapy to enhance him, but hey, let's genetically manipulate humans. Did they learn nothing from? Come on,
exactly.
This was perfect. 1 out of 2. This is, of course, the great fandom outsider. Opportunity to send Wesley over to babysit the space special children. Bye, Wesley. I'm with you, buddy.
Bye.
Michael Beacom says, D. Hated the magic transporter. Always have, always will. Goes where Trek Classic has totally been before. People this stupid about bio protocols. Do not go out searching for other life forms. That is very well said.
Yes,
thank you,
Michael.
D for the ARP episode of Dead Millage. Thank you. Exactly.
You guys, the comments in the chat are just so excellent. I'm just rolling in laughter here.
Steve, your purple clubber and Uncle Thoth with AC. Crap, mega crap. Indeed. Kal-El. D, no bloody A, B, C. Exactly. Mr. Angel.
Oh, God.
Z minus. Wow. Wow.
Oh, God. Not the chef.
Oh, God, not the transporter again. Enterprise stacks. Enterprise stacks on Depends. I think he means it Depends diapers. And Riker's having thoughts about his chances with older women. I see him checking Pulaski. Well, it could be.
I love you, Mr. Angel. Oh, God, that's so funny. So good.
Enigmatic drop bear. D plus science fiction is well suited to exploring eugenics. It wasn't done very well here.
Nope.
But here though, the many inconsistencies in this episode also make it a difficult one to get into.
Indeed.
I'm so with absolutely. Why did Lantry? Why I think the Lantry die before the Darwin staff? Simply. Why? Good point. Why did? Yeah, that's a very good point.
Very good.
Well, maybe they had it longer. I don't know. It didn't seem like it though. Why did Dr. Pulaski age so quickly? Story also fosters the problematic notion that the transporters can facilitate immortality. Well, yep. Yes. Well, that's about like super blood, isn't it?
Yep. Enigmatic drop bear. Clobby and I talk about that all the time. It would be like if you had a poet who is a genius, or if you had an admiral, or if you had someone, who cured cancer and they were on their last legs, you could just, put them through the transporter. Clobby and I talk about that all the time. We hate the magic transporter. And what's worse, what's heinous about it in this episode is they actually have the gall to say out loud, it's the first time it's ever been done. Oh, head desk, plus 7,000 raspberries.
Look, if sometime in the far-flung future, a device is created that can do that, good, great, fun, fine. But when you put it in your fiction, you eliminate the stakes that the characters are
right.
faced with every. I mean, you got nothing because there's no threat to the characters ever. Really, we just hey, so and so's Spock died in Wrath of Khan. Why didn't they just put him in the transporter? This whole pattern.
All they had to do was run into his bedroom, grab his hairbrush from his panty drawer, run him through the transporter, and he didn't have to die. I mean,
there you go.
I mean, come on.
The great Eric K.D. Transporter solves everything. O'Brien at least proves he is great at his job. Why didn't they pee hard? Or why didn't he just beam the stupid doctor into deep space, scattered really dumb doctors and scientists? It was she brought a whole damn thing on herself anyway. It was really
Wolfie calls the ship. He says, "Was it the USS Lantry or the USS Latrine?"
D- for Wolfie. This episode is a Miranda-class starship filled with soiled diapers. Ready, a photon, some fun things. Those Type 7 shuttles are freaking huge.
Yeah.
You could fit a pool table in there.
Yeah.
There you go. 2 out of 2. Rapid aging is exactly what happened to me from watching this episode. It really made my geriatric profanity disorder become more damn apparent.
Oh my God, I love you, Wolfie.
Oh, well done, Wolfie.
So good, so good. Oh my God, look what Steve Mitchum just put in the chat. Hashtag Spock's panty drawer.
Oh, I'm way behind on the chat right now.
Oh my God, I love you all so much. I love you. I love you. You guys are the best friends anyone could ever have. Oh,
yes, that's true, Just Joe. Because O'Brien's great-grandfather did crash, great-great-great-great-grandfather, whatever, let's crash that plane in Die Hard 2. He had a bit part in Die Hard 2 where he was the pilot. He was also, one of his other ancestors was one of the bad guys in Under Siege. He was evil, remember? So there you go. And he got killed by Steven Skagul. Scuba Pete, 2 out of 5 bowls of prunes. This episode made me late for the 2 p.m. dinner buffet. Look at this mole. Does it look like it's getting bigger? Wow.
I love you, Scuba Pete. So good with 4 poops.
Oh, I'm sorry, Raymond. Let me backtrack.
Oh God, I'm crying. I actually have to wipe my eyes. Look at what this chat is doing to me.
What is the count? There's one, Raymond. That's not that one. Naturally, let's see. I'm looking for it, Ray. Oh, I don't know how I missed that one.
Oh, you guys.
Oh no, lots of brushes in the panty drawers. No, this is not. I thought that's not a rating. Oh. This does not deserve a grade. See, when I didn't see any kind of rating, I just went by. I look for a rating at the front of these things because they pass by fast, Raymond. So I'm sorry about that, man. This does not deserve a grade. Yet another too many copies of TOS, Q, Raspberry, and Poop Zambonis. We can't go to the Borg. Wait, he's got the Borg on the brain there, the Raymond. He wants some Borg, man. I'm with you.
Well, but Standards answered Scuba Pete. He says in quotes, "This thing on my neck, it's getting bigger." Turns out it was just a gummy bear.
Oh, let's see if I can get back where I was.
God, I can't wait for CLOBBERIN. Oh my God, we're gonna have so much fun.
Let's see here. Where are we? Keep seeing. Oh, there's some snort. There's some snort here. C- for Snortopoopa Scuba. Another day, another deadly disease. Thank goodness for the transporter and the magic of pseudoscience. Technobabble reigns supreme here with O'Brien taking the prize. And the great Marcadia with a C says, F. Wow, that's a low dude. Man.
Wow. Mark,
he never gives an F. Thanks.
Ever, Clobby.
He's like the reverse Thoth. He's very kind, whereas Thoth is brutal.
Yeah, Lord Thoth is Scrooge McDuck. Like he can make coal into diamonds, whereas Mark D with a C is so
Yeah.
generous. You're like, Mark, stop that. So this is hysterical. This might actually be Mark D with a C's first F, folks.
It might be one. If it's another one, I can't remember it. F for the great Mark D with a C. A 0 out of 5 space seeds. This episode was a big poopy diaper. What can go wrong? Good one. Rehash deadly years, annoying doctor, scientist, another magic transporter solution. Yes, love that magic transporter there. It might have been better, but it might have. I guess it means been better if Wesley came up with a solution. Okay. Maybe not, but this episode stinks. So there with you. And there's our wonderful friend Jill, who's got a lot to say on this one. Go for it.
Okay, so before we get to that, our wonderful friend and Global Geek Gang panelist, Lord Thoth, just came up with something that is definitely going to stick.
Go for it.
He called Mark D with a C Mirror Thoth. So
there you
now
go.
Whenever Mark D with the C is too generous, I'm 100% calling him Mirror Thoth. That one's sticking, LT. That one is sticking.
Well done, LT.
Yeah. So we've got the beautiful and always articulate and insightful anti-derivative Jill, great friend of this program. And she actually has a 7-parter. And wow, I've never seen, I don't know if Jill has ever given a grade this low.
An Esh pick.
Yeah, this is an Esh pick. She's 1 of 7, and she's starting off with a rating of D+, very low for anti-derivative Jill. And she says, I'll give her this. I like when Riker says we don't know what we're looking for. She says, exactly, and we won't until we start gathering data. The nature of the genetic modification of the kids in the lab should have been a red flag, yet she seems very surprised that she is immediately infected. Yeah, right. The transporter trace trick bothers me. The transporter can recall how to put together the previous pattern, but without the matching physical matter, how can it put it all together properly? Yes, that is problematic. This makes no sense to me unless they have a physical compressed copy of everyone who has ever transported in their buffers, which seems like it would take up a lot of space.
And they had to call the other ship.
Yeah. O'Brien disagrees. Apparently, all we need is just DNA and a molecule matrix reader. Okay, if this is the way it works, someone can just do this every time and never age and can always eliminate disease. Yep, this is our argument as well, anti-derivative Jill. 6 out of 7, she says, why did the scientists create antibodies that can't tell the difference between a threat and normal cells? Are they just the worst scientists in the Federation? Oh, Jill, such great points. 7 of 7, Jill says, what happened to the antibodies that infected Pulaski? Did they isolate them? I guess they did, because it's never addressed. And even if they weren't, they'd infect everyone again. Yes, yes, yes.
Well done, Jill.
Stand up and take a bow, gorgeous. Stand up and take a bow.
Absolutely.
That was good. Wonderful Esh pick.
Well, great stuff there, Jill. JT Kirk, C-. Would have been an A rating if Wesley aged off the show due to the virus, or Khan Jr. Was on that Miranda class culminating in a Wesley versus Khan Jr. battle. I'm with you there. The lovely purple, not purple, well, we love purple too, but she's not here, I'm sorry. The lovely bionic belly button. D for the fiber supplement episode.
Brilliant, lady. Brilliant. Lovely, lovely. Love it. Oh, so good.
Oh, we got another one there from Thoth. DX2. Not rejuvenated. Geriatric retire Pulaski because of her ineptitude. Promoted Solar to CMO because I want some pond fun. Well, who wouldn't? I love her. Well done. Well said, sir. I think we're ready to move on to our final episode of the evening.
Yes, and you know, plop, plop, fizz, fizz, oh, what a relief it is, as they would say in the United States, because some relief is coming, folks. This is the Pepto-Bismol of this particular review time. Let's
Yes.
stay copyright compliant. I'm going to be reading an excerpt from Star Trek 365, The Next Generation, written by Paula M. Block, with a little help from her husband, Terry J. Erdman, and the blessing of Ronald D. Moore. We, of course, have come to a wonderful place, a place where we can all breathe because
Yes.
we can finally be intelligent again. A Matter of Honor, Season 2, Episode 8, first broadcast, February 6, 1989. And if you're following along in the block text, and I sure hope that you are, because I definitely endorse getting this book for better or for worse, for the visuals and the verified information alone, it is the only memory alpha you'll ever need. We are on 84. Let's do it. An exchange program gives Commander Riker the opportunity to become the first Starfleet officer to serve on a Klingon ship. After studying up on Klingon dietary habits and receiving vital tips from Worf about the ways of Klingon crews, Riker proves that he can hold his own with the warrior race aboard the Pach. So it seems until he faces a real challenge. A nasty strain of bacteria is eating away the hull of the Klingon vessel, and the Pach's captain believes that the Enterprise is responsible. If Riker doesn't help the crew attack the Federation ship, he can count on the Pach's second officer to follow Klingon tradition by assisting him into an honorable retirement via assassination. Oh, we have another tile. When Tenford came about in our second season, it created a tremendous opportunity for me to make food, says TNG's property master Alan Sims. I wanted to make something different, very specialized food of the future, especially for A Matter of Honor, where Riker had to become acquainted with Klingon food. I was in my heyday because I was able to create something that had never been seen before, and being a fan of things that frighten people, ... Sim's voice trails off with a chuckle. As it was written in the script, it was supposed to be pretty frightening, and that opened up the floodgates for me for the Pippius claw. I bought chicken feet and eliminated the middle toe so that it looked like a devil's fork kind of a thing. I got organs from the butcher. Heart of Targ was an actual beef heart. I had a liver and more. The Asian market offered a plethora to me, different kinds of fish with eyes, and I just used eyes and fins. I can't tell you how much fun I had. Then, when Riker actually went to the Klingon ship, there was a whole Klingon feast. I used squid and octopus, but I did different things with them, and the actors had to eat this stuff. There's another tile. A Matter of Honor was the only episode of Star Trek The Next Generation to be turned into, oh yes, I remember this, into one of the Viewmaster's licensed 3D reel products. Oh my goodness. Mrs. D, Mrs. Mark D with a C alert, Mrs. Mark D with a C alert. We have enabling. Enabling has been engaged. The Viewmaster's device had been developed by Sawyer's Photo Services in the early 20th century, conceived as a product that would enable consumers to view photographic images in stereo, essentially an updated stereoscope that utilized then new Kodachrome 16 millimeter film. Each Viewmaster disc contained 7 pairs of matching film frames. When a pair of matching images was viewed simultaneously, one with each eye, the consumer experienced the simulation of binocular depth perception. Initially marketed as a 3D alternative to scenic postcards, popular subject matter included Carlsbad Caverns and the Grand Canyon. Sawyer's branched out into licensed entertainment in the 1950s with images of Disney characters, and scenes from the newly opened Disneyland Park. Licensing expanded in 1966 when the company was acquired by GAF, which began producing discs that capitalized on the popularity of such television series as The Man from U.N.C.L.E., The Beverly Hillbillies, Star Trek, The Omega Glory. Over the years, Viewmaster licensed a number of Star Trek titles from Paramount, including Yesteryear from the animated series, released as Mr. Spock's Time Trek, Star Trek the Motion Picture, Star Trek II The Wrath of Khan, and this one TNG title. Why a matter of honor? One can only guess at this point, but the Klingon heavy episode had proven to be an audience favorite. Oh, yeah, for me, certainly. Bringing the series its highest Nielsen ratings to date, that alone would have made it a logical candidate for the ideal toy company, the third owner of Viewmaster, to add to its line.
Wow.
And that is all the coverage on A Matter of Honor. And wow, I really like that coverage. What did you think of the coverage, Clobby? And what did you think of the episode, Captain?
Very, very interesting covers, and I've always really liked this episode. By the way, Raymond, I'm sorry, Miss Sandra. I apologize. I'm looking for it now. I can't find it. Could you, if you have anything to say on this episode we have now, put both your past two reviews on there, because I can't find it. I'm looking for it, and still I can't. And if you could do that, please, I appreciate that. I am so sorry, Sandra.
Yeah, we would never, ever skip over you intentionally. And thank you for letting us know, because we can rectify it right away.
Right. But thank you, JT Kirk, for the super chat. By the way, I confirmed with Bones that I got my piece from the hairbrush I used in Nurse Chapel's panty drawer. Totally no other way it could have happened. Thank you so much, JT Kirk. Appreciate it.
Hysterical, wonderful. I love you. Thank you.
I'm sorry about that, Sandra. But I don't know what happened. You know, I miss stuff sometimes. You know how that goes. I'm so sorry. Oh. Well, yeah, but it means something to me. Anything you say means something to me, Sandra.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry about that. But if you could just, whatever you have to say about that episode, if you have anything to say about either one of these, please feel free. And I am so sorry. I could not find it. You know how I miss stuff I can't see for crap.
Yeah.
So thank you. I've always liked this episode a lot.
Yep.
I've always found it to be, again, a cut above, I guess, just because I like some of the stuff with Riker on the Klingon ship, you know. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I really like it. So you got notes?
I do have notes. So here, okay. So I spoke with everyone about this already. So you knew this was coming if you're a regular here, if you're a part of the CLOBBERIN Treks community. So Mendon and Mordock, the Benzite reveal, obviously that John Puch, or however you say his last name, Puched or Puch. The Klingon food is real. Obviously, the book got into that. The Klingon food is real. Lots of sea bugs and awful. I had to say sea bugs because that's what Bobby calls it.
Right.
You should all know it was cooked and the cast actually ate it. I love Worf. Michael Dorn is outstanding. The Pach is beautiful. Johnny Fakes turns in an excellent performance here as well. The idea of a subatomic bacteria is simply excellent science fiction storytelling. The culture shock storytelling is spectacular. And then, of course, I have in yelling all caps, the legend of Gah! The banter at the table is just absolute perfection. The dialogue is so well written. It is so natural and answers the audience's own voices, the audience's thoughts, the audience's questions. There is great tension created through these technical limitations. This is such great writing. I love every second of this excellence. And that's all I have in my notes. I just think that as a science fiction writer myself, I just think that this is just excellent science fiction writing. This is a pure science fiction episode. Doesn't mess around with science fantasy. Doesn't mess around with stupid space opera. Doesn't mess around with anything. This is Isaac Asimov would have loved this episode. It is just great science fiction and great character writing. And the dialogue is so good. So good.
Yes, it excels. By the way, thank you, Eric K. The wonderful Sandra she said D. She gave it a D. What moron thinks women keep a hairbrush in the underwear drawer? Magical transporters are so Deus Machina.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thank you, Sandra. Sorry about that, Sandra.
Love it.
But
Thanks,
yes,
Sandra.
The great Derek K. All right, appreciate you, bro. Yeah, well, it's again. I remember. It's funny. I remember when I saw this when it first came on. I was very. I was. It was a show I watched. Let's put it like that. I watched it every week so that I could kind of talk to my buddies and talk about how flawed and messed up the show was. I didn't ever watch it because it was something I couldn't wait to watch. It was just a show to watch, and I did. Cisco Kid, how you doing? I got to hold the chat up when anyone puts a review before I ask for one. So, but it's good to see you, Cisco Kid. You may not have known that, so you're good. So it was just very enjoyable for all the reasons you mentioned. It's just a lot of, it's a kind of a fun episode in the sense of seeing Riker go on board. This is finally where the character of Riker shines, and when he kicks the Klingons' ass at the beginning of that one, we were laughing our asses off. I remember getting on the phone, calling my friend, saying, "Wow, that was actually really good." And again, we were talking in astonishment at that point. Like, this was actually well done. It was everything about this episode was quite enjoyable, and so I'm right there with you on it. So.
Yep. Well, I had the same reaction. I mean, I have to be honest. It's not like TNG came along and everybody loved it. My group of friends, we were very much the same as your group of friends, where we were kind of like, oh, some of this is good and some of this isn't really good. Is this ever going to be as good as TOS?
Yep.
And I'm sorry if that upsets some people, but that's really how I felt back then. Is this like, oh man, is this ever going to be as good as TOS? And then this episode came along and it was like, wow, okay, this show can be science fiction. This show can have cool characters. This show can tell a good story and not try and be 17 different genres. It's actually like a good story, and it's just science fiction. And some of us, me included, really crave science fiction. I just want science fiction.
This was probably one of the first episodes that I got really excited about, other than maybe Conspiracy from not too long before, like the previous season. So yeah, this is one of the episodes that got us excited and I watched it. It was probably, other than Conspiracy at that point, one of the few that I went back and rewatched the next day, the same night, the next day, and that stuff, and could sit through over and over again. It was very entertaining, like it a lot. So, what is your rating? You did your notes, right? Or no?
Yes. So it was just me fawning all over the great science fiction writing. Hey, Cisco Kid, don't you worry about that. The only reason
no big deal.
What we're doing right now is around here, Cisco Kid, everyone in the community, each and every single person, their voice is important, and so is their review. So actually, Clobby will give a green light, and then that releases the horses, and you can all start racing. And so the only reason why Eric and Clobby are tipping your hat to that is because we definitely don't want to miss anyone. And if you're early out the gate and you jump the gun, we tend to miss it, and we don't want to do that. So we just absolutely love that you are leaving your comments and your ratings, and wait for that green light. And we cannot wait to hear what you have to say.
Oh yeah, well, again, we appreciate you. Just not everyone knows it, so it's always good that so it's fine. Cisco Kid, we're really glad to see you here. And Cisco Kid gives our first rating. Let me get your rating, then we'll and your rating of Matter of Honor.
This is an A for me, Captain. This is good science fiction writing. There are no holes in it. You don't want to pick it apart. There's no nagging. Why did they do that? Or that wasn't necessary. It's just solid. It's polished. It's beautiful. It's just wonderful. And good science fiction writing. Especially, I really, really, really like how the dialogue matches the questions and feelings of the audience. And so I think that is good craft. This is great craft, and I have to give it an A.
I too give it an A. Very good character study stuff, and I always like good character episodes, and really starting to. They're really at this point starting to realize what they want to do with the Klingons. So, and Cisco gives it a B plus. Thank you, Cisco Kid. We do appreciate you being here. Let me so everyone can start now. Let me see. I had to stop my chat, so I'm way behind on this. Let's go where we are.
And thank you so much for that, Eric. I love your help so much, and so does Clobby, and so does Cisco Kid. Keeping those ratings in order, make sure that everybody gets heard. So I just thank you so
Yeah,
much for that, Eric. Love you,
yeah.
love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Thank as
Sending
always.
smooches for your whole face.
Thanks, Eric. And nothing to be sorry about at all there, Cisco Kid. We're
Yep.
love to have you.
Yep.
Let's see. Let me get to okay, I think I found my first one. If I missed anybody, please, as always, speak up, everyone. Let's see. Michael Beacom, did you do one also? Or I think Lord thought this is my first one here. I never know exactly where to start. Because in case I miss one, I try to watch as much as I can, but I have garbage eyesight because I'm old. Everybody, here we go. Lord Doth says, and if I miss anyone, please let us know because we want to get everybody.
Yeah.
B plus, my favorite second season episode, except for that Q unquestionable one. Oh yeah, I got you. Great clinks, great clinks. Great actors, fun story, an interesting premise. This is why I love Star Trek. Close to an A. Well, and that's saying something.
Wow.
There you go. There you go. That's saying something for the great LT
and I totally
there.
agree. LT, the writing is just so good here, and it's just so tight. There are no holes or contradictions or defiance of canon, and it's just you're allowed to get into the story and just enjoy yourself.
Yeah, and again, it was one of the few times at that point that I had done it with this show.
Yeah, me too.
Where I just had a good time. Stephen Thompson, Captain James T. Skywalker, A minus, Riker, Cosmic Ladies Man. Well, Klingon women at least. He is not very attractive, but I will have him. Yes. Thanks a lot for making me say that. Wow. Just Joe. Part 1A.
Oh wow.
A great ep for Riker. The strong dialogue with the Klingons and the one Klingon who has ashamed of his father. Yeah, that was good. I've seen that guy in some other stuff. Also, the crazed Klingon captain is played by Chris Latta, who voiced Starscream in, I think I know what you're going to say, in that would be Transformers, right? Let's see. I'm trying to find your other one there, Joe. What'd I do with it?
I thought his name was Christopher Collins. But I
don't know.
I'm just amazed that Just Joe 47 has a two-parter. I love it. Like Joe usually just gives a short answer. So I love that he liked the episode so much that he had two entries.
Yes.
It's really cool, Joe.
Part of Starscream and Transformers and Cobra Commander in G.I. Joe cartoons. R.I.P. Lotta 1994. There you go, sir. Excellent. Well, maybe he had a different name for his acting career, for his voice acting. Who knows? Terrell 72. Hey, this is definitely one of the first of the greats. Yep. I'm with you there, sir.
Totally agree.
A for the great snort off Huber. Riker eating gach and other Klingon nom-noms. Well, that was messed up. Riker flirting with Klingon women. Riker understanding how to work with Klingon traditions, and Riker knowing Picard will said and da.
Yeah. So good. Hey, just sending those chin scritches to you. You're one of my favorite bears. You're a good bear.
The great, your purple clobbering Uncle Thoth with an A. I hope he doesn't get any longer with Jesus, man. Steve. A plus. This one was all about character. The story was basic, which is a refreshing change from the convoluted storylines of the first two seasons. Right there with you, bro.
Yep.
This is just a very, very entertaining episode all the way around. Scuba Pete, A plus. One of my fave episodes as a teenager and love it even more as an adult. Seeing into how a bird of prey functions, just cool. The female Klingon hitting on Riker, I'm choking on my gach.
Scuba Pete, I do the most disgustingly insane, horrific witch cackle whenever she shows her teeth, and it doesn't matter how many times I watch the episode. Like, it's just so outrageous because it's gross and sexual at the same time. I cannot help myself, but and it's so loud. I think I made my husband jump last time we watched it.
I love it.
So bad.
Wonderful and lovely bionic belly button. And A, because Riker proved to be awesome and hardcore. This is sort of a coming out thing for Riker in the sense that it actually added some, I don't know, it added something to his character. This was a leap for
Yep.
the character for me.
Yep. And it's another time, Bionic Belly Button, that he was willing to go a little further than I think other actors would go. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of Jonathan Fakey Fakes because of his recent comments and behavior, but I will say this: you know, he did go into a pit full of ink, and then he was what's hysterical here is now he's eating ink, and he above and beyond, and it really works because you get that gross out factor, and so that helps you to connect with the character emotionally and realize the sacrifices he's making to create this cultural exchange and to really get into it. And yeah, you respect him more afterwards. So totally agree, Bionic Belly Button. Love the comments. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Indeedishness. Wolfie762, one of two. Hey, I freaking love this episode. Maybe the best of the series so far. Probably
Agreed.
the most Klingon background you get in a single episode or film until Kalis on Deep Space Nine. But they had a lot of other Klingon stuff on there, but it was definitely set the groundwork, or the second time we get to see the Klingons on there. I think they're really establishing something at this point. Gach.
Yep.
The sound you make when you pass said food into either a waste extraction unit or an adult diaper. Klingon toilets are probably scary. Can we exchange a Suxley for a Klingon crew member? Yes. Yeah, a little bit much Wesley in this one, but at least he's just being a normal person
Wolfie.
in this one.
Love you, Wolfie.
Yeah, at least Wesley, and there's another thing. At least if you're going to have him, let him act like just a normal person, and he was doing that at least.
Yep.
So, it was, at least he's less annoying in that case. Kal-El48 says, hey, this episode was incredibly well done, and I liked how Riker adapted to serve on the Klingon ship, and the scene, the scene where he was sampling the Klingon cuisine was priceless, as was Pulaski's reaction. Yes.
Yeah. It's so bad.
Ted Milich, hey, just a good fun episode, indeed.
Right, Ted?
Yes, indeed, Ted, absolutely. Phantom Outsider B, although the boastfulness of Riker was odd, as he's yet to show any ability to put up. Riker taking down a Klingon is the first win ever for Riker. That was my favorite scene. That just, when I'm watching that episode, I was intrigued by it the first time, and when that happened, I think I was laughing my ass off. I'm going, that's a Kirk move right there.
Yep.
Total Kirk.
I was also blown away by the fact that he took a backhand, like he got bitch slapped, because he knew that there had to be a reciprocation of honor, like that he had to give into the power of the situation, and he understood the social dynamics, and I couldn't believe it. And did you see his face? Like, that was a good bitch slap. He's gonna have that bruise for a while.
When not to duck would be more accurate.
Exactly, Clobby. Exactly,
Well,
Captain.
that was a good line.
Yes, wasn't that a good line, Captain? Such a great line.
Yep. Why can't every episode be of this quality? A, for the wonderful Sandra Feliciano, this episode showed that there was hope for the show. There was hope for the show. That's true. I loved Riker smacking around the Klingon. There seemed to be an element of fun running through it. I'm absolutely so with you there. You're not an Amanda Bear. I give it a B. I like Klingons, but not as much as some.
Yes.
Very solid episode for Star Trek, though. I mean, look, I'm not a big Klingon booster either. They're fine in a good episode. Sometimes I find them to be some of the ways that, and we're not going to go down this rabbit hole right now, but I've some of the things, sometimes the way Klingons are written in terms of I have a stretched credulity for me, or verisimilitude or whatever, because of the way there's no way that every member of any society can be warriors. Nothing would ever. They would not have any technology. But that said, they can be very entertaining at times, and this was really the case.
And if anyone in this community would like to hear us wax philosophical about this particular subject matter, there is a high possibility that will transpire when Clobby and I meet on September 8th. Where we do the top 25 of TOS.
Oh yeah, that's right. I almost forgot. We didn't talk when we go and get done here. We'll make sure we reiterate. Make sure we remind everyone what we're doing on Star Trek Day.
Yes.
Pop culture archivist Jed says, It's a B and shut up, Wesley. Well, that's fair enough. You know, he didn't shut up in this one, but at least he didn't get too annoying. He didn't save the ship or anything, really. Just, you know. JT Kirk, A minus. This episode is the first that feels like real Trek and elevates Riker's character. I agree with that. The Klingons and the Gach is just plain cool. I also laugh at Wesley's all you people look the same moment. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Which,
well, it saved money, though. And that is the one little, that's the one, but, you know, they had to save money.
Indeed. Mr. Angel, A plus. Klingons. We are led by the most dominant. Riker mounts captain's chair, slowly eyeballing. Oh, Klingons teach me. Oh, I don't know if I want to say this. Fainting female Klingons. Dude, really? Thanks, Mr. Angel. I'm just kidding with you.
Mr. Angel is great.
RN Feliciano, A. I'm guessing that minus means it's an A minus, or is it just a separating thingy? I'm always confused by that. Sorry, I'm just not very smart, right? But Raymond Feliciano says A minus. I'm going with the minus there, buddy. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Very good episode. Good study of the Klingons. I also knew Riker had a bit of the pirate in him. No magical pixie dust solution. It redeemed my faith in TNG. This was almost like a crossroads episode for Trek. It sounds like.
Yep. Yeah, I think so too.
We have the wonderful anti-derivative Jill. Take it away, number one.
Hello, beautiful. Anti-derivative Jill. She's got a 4-parter this time, and she's going to start with an A. So she's given the episode an A. She says it's believable if you have an exchange program, you'll run into issues like when Mendon not telling anyone about the bacteria. Wes must be happy someone more annoying than he is on the bridge. Well, Jill further says, then we have Riker do very well on the Klingon vessel because he carefully studied and did his homework on how they operate. Everything on the Klingon ship was amazing. Great dialogue. 3 out of 4. She says Mendon's mistakes causes the Klingons to think the Enterprise is responsible for the bacteria. So the Klingons' aggression stems from logic rather than just making them violent for the sake of it. Great comment. And 4 of 4, Jill says, the clever twist of Riker setting up the Klingon captain to end up on the bridge of the Enterprise. Just awesome. This is just a lot of fun. And for me, that is enough for an A. Very well said, Jill. Thank you so much, beautiful.
Indeed.
Good comments, my dear.
Indeed, a highly reviewed episode so far. Enigmatic Drop Bear, B. This one was fun, a well-written story that was well acted, good use of Riker's character strengths, and well acted by Frakes for change. Yeah, here you there.
Boy, I like Enigmatic Drop Bear. I just really, really like that person. Very articulate person. Love. Sorry to talk about you like you're not here, Enigmatic Drop Bear. I just really love your comments.
Indeedishness. Michael Beacom, that's a B. I guess that means minus, or you separate. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna say minus because you never can tell because if it's meant to be a separating thing or what. But I sent one too early. Don't worry about that, Michael Beacom. It happens. Sorry about that. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just letting people know so I could get everybody, so I don't have to stop the chat too much. Great episode. I love shows where internal conflict matches the external. Riker's position fraught with tension was great. Yes. Cut Wesley to give more time to the real story. Indeed, Michael.
Michael, that's good. Like, I don't like to try and I don't enjoy taking away from this episode because I think it's so tight and so well wrought. But at the same time, less Wesley is always better.
Yes.
Less is more.
Indeedishness. Absolutely there. At a K, B plus. Mendon was great showing the differences, but why did Wesley think that was his friend? I don't think he was doing. I don't want to defend Wesley, but they do look exactly the same. To us, that's not a prejudice if someone looks like someone. But yes, he probably, if he were smarter, he would have handled it better. But he's Wesley. He's a dummy, an annoying genius, I guess. So I don't know why Mendon was not in Starfleet. Good
That
point,
is
though.
one little hole there. Yeah, but
Right.
it might have been that
He
that
just assumed. He made an
yeah.
assumption. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's true. It's true. It's true,
Yeah.
Eric. Eric is a
Yeah. He just
bloodhound.
Wesley just assumed it and made a false assumption there. Brian Thompson is such a great Klingon. Yeah, that's what's the guy's name. Yeah, showed some depth to the Klingon. I've seen that guy in a bunch of stuff, but I can't remember exactly what at the moment. But yes, yeah, and even through the Klingon makeup, you could tell. Let's see here. Bop, bop, bop. I know we got to be getting close to the.
Oh my goodness, he was in a lot of stuff. Holy Moses. Terminator, Cobra. He was in Three Amigos? Scuba
Really?
Pete. He was in Three Amigos.
That guy was. I don't remember him from that. Oh well.
Fright Night. Alien Nation. I remember him in Alien Nation.
Fright Night.
He played Trent Porter. Three Fugitives, Lionheart, Nightwish, Moon 44, After the Shock, Hired to Kill, Life Stinks, Doctor, Mordid, The Naked Truth, Star Trek Generations, Dragonheart, Joe Dirt.
I don't remember him from Fright Night, but okay.
Yeah.
Thank you to
it's
the great.
Fright Night Part 2, boss man.
Oh, the second, yeah, the one I watched the first one a million times, and so I knew he wasn't in that one. But the second one is kind of bad, to be honest. And I love the first one. The great Eric K, $2. Thank you so much for that super chat, Eric K. P. Hard will surrender, then apologize later. Yes.
I love you, Eric.
The great Tamarica D with a C says, "Hey, I was gah for this episode. Riker kicks ass. Great action, food, dialogue, and character moments. Let's see here. Bop, 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 bop. Second one. Fine, other way. Trek. Let's see. Trek does a great job of telling the story of the Klingons, the Klingon race. They are never one-dimensional villains. Worf really shines, and Riker uses the homing beacon to perfection. Yep. You cheer when he says, Enterprise, this is Captain William Riker of the Klingon vessel Pach. Yep. I order you to lower your shields and surrender, which Picard's really good at.
Yeah. It reveals Riker as a tactician. And so this is when we start to gain respect for him. And maybe it came from, him meeting Billy Campbell, maybe meeting Billy Campbell and realizing that that's why Gene Roddenberry was chasing after him. Maybe he realized that it was time to step up his game.
We know now that we can endure this series just like Riker could survive 2 Klingon women
with those teeth, just the way they snarl with those teeth, sexual and repulsive all at once. It's hysterical.
I think we got everybody.
Mr. Angel. Klingons, nothing from the Federation can scare us. And then he puts in asterisks. Enterprise beams over Wesley. No!
I think we got everybody. I'm making sure. If I miss anyone, please let us know. My chat's way behind.
Oh, so funny.
Oh, okay. Just a separation. Gotcha. Solid B, Michael Beacom. Thank you, sir. That always confuses me. I'm never really sure because there's, people give A- minuses and B- minuses and stuff like that. So thank you. Appreciate that. Really appreciate you.
Bionic belly button. You're crazy. I love you, girl. You didn't have to pay $10 for that, sweetheart. I'd do that for you for free. But I love that you're tipping Clobby because I love that we have created his virtual comic book shop. We've recreated it here. So thank you for keeping the lights on in the comic book shop. Bionic belly button for $10, says Raquel. Will you please say Scuba Pete and snort a poopus a cuber in a row, followed by raspberry tooth? Thank you for the awesome Trek Talk tonight.
Thank you.
Such a beautiful person. Okay, here we go. Scuba Pete! Snort a poopus!
Cuber!
Wow, she did it all. Wow, thank you so much for that, Bionic. You're too kind. You didn't have to do that. She'd have done it for you for free.
Yes, great silliness. I love you very much. You're just such a beautiful person. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, absolutely, and we love seeing you here, Bionic. Love that you're hanging out with us tonight. Love
Yes.
that everyone is hanging out with us. Um, well, we covered another 4 episodes.
We did, Captain. We did, Boss
Yeah.
Man, and it was great fun. It was a little rocky in the beginning there. That we had to bring out the poop zamboni,
Oh yeah.
and there was cleanups. There was a cleanup on aisle 1, aisle 2, and aisle 3. Aisle 3
Yep.
was a real mess, and then
Right.
ah! along came episode 4, and forever changed our hearts and started moving us towards
Yes.
loving this show and loving these characters.
Right. We're definitely turning a corner with this one. So, I'll, and I tell you what, that's a good thing. Um, everyone, I tell you what, we'll do a couple of quick show notes. But before we do that, of course, I want my wonderful first officer to once again tell everyone about your literary works and what you do, and then we'll say our goodbyes, and we'll do our show notes, say our goodbyes, and we'll let everyone enjoy the rest of their night. What do you think? Go
Well,
for it.
that's wonderful. I hate using your show to plug because, yeah, it just makes me feel weird. But at the same time, I just, your support means the world to me, and thank you for using your space to help promote my work. So, as Clubby, I'm going to answer Clubby's questions. The first question is, I'm a scholar. I'm trying to finish out my doctorate, and I don't really have the money to finish it out, but I usually write scholarly works. I write nonfiction, and not many people know this, but I do write fiction as well, and Clubby is trying to spread the word. My craft is short fiction forms. I see them as a magnificent discipline, and in that way, I'm sort of connected with the comic book community. I really love short story. I've loved it my entire life, and I also truly love flash fiction. So I write science fiction, short story, and flash fiction. And if you like Edgar Allan Poe, if you like Philip K. Dick, if you like The Outer Limits and The Twilight Zone and that sort of thing where it takes you to a different place and there may or may not be a twist, that kind of stuff, you might enjoy my work. And you can buy it and find it on Goodreads. You can also find it on Amazon under my name, R.M. Briggs, and you can find it on your Kindle device under R.M. Briggs. And thank you so much to everyone who has bought my work and has read my work and has left me ratings. You guys, this is so amazing for me because if my short stories catch on, I would truly love to do a short story collection and publish them properly. And did you know that short story actually isn't that popular? And a lot of publishers and a lot of publishing houses don't want to do short story
Hmm.
collections. So if you like this kind of thing, I really appreciate your support. And you guys have been truly great to me. And yeah, thank you.
Well, excellent, excellent. Now, Raymond, it looks like the link I have for your books, it's not. I don't think I have the right one. So if you want to put that in there, please feel free. Raymond Feliciano is also an author as well, so you can put. And he has new books. He's got a new book out there. So, anti-derivative Jill for that super sticker. Thank you so
Thanks.
much, my dear. We love you, Jill. You've been amazing. You've all been amazing. And okay, the September 8th, everyone. That's Star Trek Day, as you all know, and that will just so happens to land on a Wednesday night. And that Wednesday night, which is a week from this coming Wednesday, I believe, my wonderful co-host and my wonderful first officer, we will count down our top 25 all-time favorite episodes of Star Trek: The Original Series, and I am looking forward to that.
Yeah, me
Big
too.
time. So, and I don't know about you, but I've made my list and I've even checked it twice, and I'm probably going to still tweak it a little bit, but it's not easy, is it?
I haven't started my list yet. I try to do it fresh every single time, and it might even be different than my previous lists because I'm forever changing. I'm always moving
Oh
forward.
yeah,
The
mine too.
world is different. I'm different,
Yeah.
so I'm not sure how it's going to work out. And like you, Clobby, it's going to be hard. But we'll see
Yeah.
because that night I may do some cosplay and I may appear on camera. This is
Oh
going to
my.
be a
Star
huge
Trek
night.
Day.
Yeah, it's Star Trek Day, and Clobby has offered this wonderful space, his virtual comic book store, to honor the wonderfulness that is TOS and to do a top 25. It is going to be a golden evening. So I'm
It'll be
really,
a lot of
really
fun.
looking forward to it.
Love it.
Yeah, yeah.
Ted Millich, the 8th is the day that the Man Trap was first aired everywhere in the States, although in Canada it was actually aired 2 days earlier than
Yep.
that, the 6th. But the 8th is always recognized as the Star Trek Day. When you ever hear about, many of us didn't even know that it ran a couple of days early in Canada until we met people from Canada. In a lot of cases, because none of us knew that. So, but anyway, that's considered Star Trek Day, and we love Star Trek Day. So, let's see here. I want to thank everyone who joined us, not only tonight, but of course earlier today when I did my 900th episode and my
Yeah.
celebration of the great King of Comics, Jack Kirby. Had a lot of fun doing that.
Yeah.
Hey, Darius Munchausen.
Hey, Darius, so nice to see you.
Good to see you there. And that was a lot of fun today. And thanks to the great Purple Valkyrie for hanging out with me. It was a lot of fun. And Monday, if we haven't been destroyed by a hurricane tomorrow, then I should be back here Monday night, and of course Wednesday night, and of course next Saturday night, or Saturday night Star Trek 4 more episodes. And now we will say our goodbyes to all of our friends because we love you all. We love to give you a shout out, even those who had to leave. Thank you, Scuba Pete, for the $4.99 super chat. Oh, you're too kind, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yes, we're used to hurricanes, but you never know. You never know what can happen. So thank you. Let's see here. The great Lord Thoth, of course, was here tonight. LT, we appreciate
and the
you,
missus.
man. And the missus, yes.
Beautiful wife that I know that Star Trek isn't her favorite, and I am always flattered when she sits in and she joins us. So please say hello to Mrs. Lord Thoth from all of us here.
Yes, and thank you for letting LT hang out with us.
Yes.
Thanks for giving him a yard pass to hang out with us tonight.
Yes.
The wonderful Felicianos, as in Sandra and Raymond. Yay. Love you. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Appreciate it.
Oh, a little birdie told me a secret. I have a secret. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to reveal it, but I'm just going to say 3 words or 2 words. Dolphin TV. Look up Dolphin TV.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, look it up. That sounds ominous. Wow. Hey, look who popped in there. Problem being, what's up, Probby?
Hello.
Dude, must be late over there or early over there. My good friend Probby. Hey, man. Always a pleasure to see you, my friend. Appreciate you. Let's see here. A $5 super chat. Another one. You are too kind.
Love Eric
K, thank you so much, brother. Next week, Clobby's favorite. He even sleeps on a Wesley pillow. Save the ship again. Well, he's always telling my secrets on the air. I don't know, man. I don't know. What's wrong with you?
I love you, Eric. Thank you so much for all of your help tonight. Thank you so much for always being here to help us produce the show and for being such a great wrench. We just love you and appreciate you so much.
Appreciate you, bro. Thank you, man. Thanks for all the help, Eric. Really appreciate you there, brother. And again, great to see you, Probby. Love you, man. Always good to see you pop in. The great Phantom Outsider. I hope you're feeling better, bud. You get well. I know you've come down with something there. It's not good. You take care of that, my friend, and feel better. I'm glad you hung out with us tonight.
Yep. And reach out to family lots, please, and check in with them. If you're alone, please. I just want you making sure that you're checking in with those around you and that those around are checking on you as well, and get some rest. And thank you so much for joining us.
Indeed. The great Snorta Poopas Cuba. Thank you. You're a good bear.
Snorta Poopas! Cuba!
Indeed. And of course, the aforementioned great Eric K., the Bronze Surfer brother. Always appreciate you, man. You do so much for everybody. You're the man. Stephen Thompson. Thanks for being here tonight, buddy. Appreciate it.
Stephen!
All right, Stephen. Athena Follower was here earlier. Athena. Appreciate you so much. Stuart Mitchell popped in. Stuart Mitchell. Thank you. I believe he had to run, but he's a good buddy no matter what. Great friend of the show. J-Man. Always a pleasure, J-Man.
Yes. Good night.
Wolfie 762. Wolfie.
Ow, ow, ow! Good night, Wolfie.
Tyrell 72. Thank you for being here. Appreciate your participation. The great Kal-El 48. Great to see you here. Thank you.
Night.
The extraordinary Steve Mitchum, brother. Always a pleasure, bud.
Please change it to Vegas Conan. Please, because
Vegas
Steve
Conan.
Mitchum, your name is way too long right now. I love you. Plus, mine is way more truthful. You do not look like Lady Purple Valkyrie. However, you do look like Conan the Barbarian from Vegas.
With blonde hair.
Yeah.
The beautiful Arwen Avalon was here. Arwen, love you. Thank you so much.
Good night, beautiful.
Your Muslim uncle was here. Brother, always a pleasure, sir. Thank you.
Good night, sir.
Enigmatic Drop Air. Always great to have you here. We appreciate you and your amazing contributions. Thank you so much.
Love it, love it, love it. And I hope I'll see you next week. And please make sure you mark your calendar there for September 8th, please. I'd love to see you there.
The great master of all Wrench Canadian, great Chris Persia, buddy. Always great to see you, my friend. D. Bud Martin, brother, the man of iron. Thanks for being here, man. Always good to see you.
Such a great guy. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you next week.
The beautiful, magnificent Bionic belly button. We love you, Bionic. I'm so excited that you joined us tonight, my friend. We love you, and it's great to see you. And you must. I know you're busy, and now that you, of course, have moved up in the world, and congrats on that. But when you can, one of these Wednesday nights, you got to come join us.
Yeah,
come hang out with me.
So proud of you. You know, I teach adult students, and that's my passion. And I'm so very proud of you for you going back to university and doing this for yourself. I'm just so infinitely proud of you. And you have chosen such a selfless thing to do with your life. So on two fronts, you are a hero to me, you fine lady. I just love your company, and thank you so much for your generous super chat tonight. Love you, love you, love you. And thank you for making it a request to do something ridiculous and fun. You were aces in my book, lady.
Indeed, we love you, Bionic. Snail Messiah, who I believe had the run, but thank you so much, Snail Messiah. If you're listening to this on a listen or whatever, but we really appreciate you.
Yeah, he had to leave because he wanted to watch it. He wanted to watch the whole show from the beginning, and he
gotcha.
it. So, yeah, Snail Messiah, I'm so sorry that happened, and that your browser didn't refresh. We'll see you next week, and also don't forget about September 8th. Snail Messiah, you are a very important part of this community. We love your comments, we love your friendship and your contributions. So we'll see you then, fine sir.
Indeed. The wonderful Janet from another planet. Hey. Janet, you're down here in the same boat with a lot of us up down there in NOLA. Please be safe from the hurricane. We're all battening down the hatches, and I know you're I hope you ride it out like we are here. So good luck, Janet. Love you, Janet. Good to see you here. Thanks for being here.
Interplanet Janet. She's a galaxy girl.
Yeah.
Good night, Janet. Please be safe.
Indeed, it's Ted Milich. Thank you as always for being here. Really appreciate seeing you here. Thank you.
What wonderful comments and what wonderful friendship you offer everyone, Ted Milich. Thank you so much for the wonderful comments you made in the chat. Although I can't get to them every time because everything will wind up getting derailed. I want you to know that I read everything you said tonight, and I wanted to thank you for your kindness and for supporting this channel and this show and for supporting me. Your just really wonderful comments. Thank you so much.
Indeed. Jed from Pop Culture Archivist, they got a show tomorrow. There's a link there in the chat. So everyone go check that out, please, and subscribe to that channel. And, of course, the channels of many other friends that are in my description below.
Yes, Michael Beacom. That is Schoolhouse Rock, and I sing all of these little awful songs, and I hope they resonate with people, and they don't think that I'm actually singing. And yes, the Schoolhouse Rock with the Interplanet Janet. She's a galaxy girl. I love that, and it's quite hysterical, and I love it when there are people in the chat who get the joke.
Indeed, love School Out Rock. Anti-derivative Jill, it is on the 8th. That'll be probably usually we start. at 9 Central. So it'll be
Mhm.
9 Central, like we do this one. But
Mhm.
it'll be a Wednesday night.
Yep.
Okay. Monkey Jeebus popped in. Yay, Monkey Jeebus.
I love that name. Monkey Jeebus.
And the aforementioned and wonderful and lovely anti-derivative Jill. We love you, Jill. Thank you for being here tonight.
Yeah,
Thank you for
a great friend to this channel and a great friend to this show and a great friend to everyone in the chat. Anti-derivative Jill, thank you for always tuning into the episodes and putting your heart and soul into how you're communicating about them and with them. And you're just marvelous. Thank you so much.
Indeed. The Comic Relief Crusader was in here earlier. Thank you so much.
Cool.
Appreciate it, of course. Mr. and Mrs. Dadman's the Dadman clan. We're here.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure.
We love you too, Jill.
We love you. Love you guys. You were great. JT Kirk, buddy. Appreciate you.
Yes, and
Thank
you're
you for being here.
hysterical as usual, just absolutely hysterical. And thank you for your super chats as well, JT. You know
Yes,
I love
thank
your
you, man.
company, and you were really truly funny tonight. That one that you put up on the marquee in the super chat, it was very, very funny. I just loved it.
Really appreciate you there, sir. The great Mark D with a C, buddy. Thanks for being here, man, as always.
Yep.
Michael Beacom, thank you for being here. Really appreciate you.
Yep. Night, guys.
The great Just Joe 47 Jobber brother. Always a pleasure, bud.
Have a good weekend.
1903 TX there.
Yeah, some really good comments from you tonight too. You
Appreciate
had me in
you.
stitches. I was almost crying at one point. So 1903 TX or 1903 Texas or whatever that means. Yeah, just enjoyed your company tonight. I hope we'll see you on September 8th, and I hope we'll see you next week.
Nirada Maximanda Bear.
Yay,
Thank you.
God.
Claude Minimus was here.
Oh,
at some point, probably not anymore, but Mark Lassert was here. Thank you, Mark.
Very nice. Have a good weekend.
The great Captain Isdecker, the replicant Spock, was here, brother. Always a pleasure. Don't worry, I will be watching it soon. Both cuts, I guess. So, the Drusif.
How long are we keeping that middle name?
I don't know. I don't know. You'll have to talk to Cockney about that. I don't know.
Yeah, Cockney. That's how I know him. Yeah.
The Drusif, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate you.
Drew, Drew is a good friend, and thank you so much for supporting the channel and the show, Drew.
We thank you so much. We appreciate it. Absolutely. The Hogfather popped in earlier. Good to see you. Thank you.
Good weekend.
And of course, the great Scuba Pete.
Scuba Pete! And family. I love you guys.
Indeed. New Bomb Kirk popped in earlier. Hey there. Shout out.
Good night.
Our good buddy, Mr. Angel. The chef, as you say.
The chef, and just also a great Trekkie. Have a good weekend. And tell your girlfriend we said have a good weekend as well.
Indeed. Keely Chow, Roll Tide. Thank you for popping in.
Good night.
Our buddy Nick Weiser popped in and out for a sec, but we still shout him out because we love Nick. He's a good friend.
Mwah, mwah.
And Valiant Renegade, another one from down here, popped in with a super chat. I know we may have had to pop out, but Valiant gets shouted anyway. We appreciate you, Valiant. Good luck, buddy. You take care, man.
Stay safe. You're another person down there in Louisiana. Please be safe.
Stay safe, buddy. Just a Normie popped in. Thank you, Just Normie, for popping in there. Good to see you.
Good night.
Parrothead, the great Parrothead popped in. Hey, wasting away.
Yep.
Cheeseburger in paradise. Cisco Kid, thank you for popping in there. Appreciate it. And we appreciate your participation. The great Darius Munchausen popped in as well.
Nice to see you, Darius. Good night,
and of course, the aforementioned great problem being Probby brother. Always appreciate you. That, I think, covers us with everybody there. We got all our shout outs in. Yes. And we really appreciate you all. Thank you so much. You're just the best. What a great group we have. I hate leaving you. I wish we could hang out for another excuse. I wish I had an excuse to keep you here for another 3 hours. Yeah, but it is fantastic. And everyone, please, anyone from my neck of the woods down here, good luck with the hurricane. Let's hope this one doesn't do to us what I'm looking at on the screen right now. Like it looks pretty bad. So, oh my goodness, But anyway, hopefully the bad stuff should be starting in the morning. So, if I have power, or if we're still standing by tomorrow, I will definitely be on Monday night. So we'll see what happens. So, not a biggie. But anyway, anyone down my area, please be safe. Appreciate it. Appreciate you all so much. Hey, keep on trekking. You guys are all just the best. And so we'll play us out, of course, with this magnificent outro made by my wonderful first officer with a little assist to get it here by the great Mark T with a C. Good night, everyone. Keep on trekking. We will see you before next week, hopefully, and definitely next week. Good night, everyone.